Both teams have a smoke going right now, and yeah, the lasso puts a really good use. Thompson chomp down from Malrine. The double ward here in the mid lane is paying off a lot right now. If this smoke breaks, they're going to have complete vision of this rotation here from Tundra. And Malrine is not the hero that you want to go for anyway. 12-minute power rune is coming. They're going to see what they can find with it. Moonlight Shadow, Macro Pyre, Arrow on top of them. Is it even enough? A perfectly
nice
timed just rebound and Ice Path as well. They get the Chronosphere onto the Sven. They're tired of your war cries snaking, but can they actually finish the job? They will. Starstorm out from Ramses will be enough to do it. And they actually still managed to find the power rune in the bottom lane. It's going to be an invis.
That Solar Flare combo with this Unleash. Usually you wouldn't be able to kill Timber there with right-clicking heroes, but both of these synergies, like you sidekick me, I'll Solar Flare you, now we work together. It's going through the reactive armor that Timber saw.
I did not expect them to get that kill, to be honest, but that was the Atos reveal from the Mirana. So the initial follow-up from that is really good with these heroes, and like you said, the Ice Path Macro Pyre combo on top of it, really good. Even without having the Frost Breath. And this is kind of where I'm wondering, like, is Liquid Fire worth it? Because you'd have a lot more damage at this point if you went the Frost, Liquid Frost instead.
He's got a really interesting build. He's got a 1-2-2 build going right now on the Jakiro. I think it was for the Slark lane, because the thing is, when you use Liquid Frost, you have to combo all of it. You have to Dual Breath and Liquid Frost to get the full damage, and that's where Slark Dark Packs, which usually hurts him, and it's not quite worth it in the early game. But when you're going to remove 300 damage from yourself, it is worth it. But with Liquid Fire, you can use it separately from Dual Breath, and now Slark has to Dark Pack just one of them. It's not as worthwhile. This kill on top.
Quick Orchid, though. It buys him some space, and his team's rotating in. It looks like they're just going to settle for crit. Atos comes out. There's the rebound, actually, with Arrow off the mark, but they will still get their 14-minute wisdom. Again, though, Falcons, really good usage of this Batrider's Lasso in their last two smoke rotations, finding Thompson twice now, as Amar gets another D-ward on the Slark, thanks to the passive.
Aduh, pure.
I don't know if there's enough damage here, but you can at least scare him away.
So.
I didn't see a Mark coming in.
Mati dong.
Time dilation's there. He loses the courier, pounce off the mark, so he's safe. Orchid out from Thompson, but he misses the sprout, so no more chase.
I think Tundra wasn't that intent on fighting it anyways, because Pure is still a few seconds off Chronosphere. But with it coming up, you have the Macro Pyre combo, and Thompson, I guess no Wrath of Nature anymore, but he'll be able to join a fight in just 10 seconds. So maybe you could still go for a kill. Maybe as Falcons push up to this tier 1 tower top.
Malrine's going to finish up a big stack of creeps here. Has an amplify damage rune, so we'll make quick work of these.
Where's that Batrider blink we were talking about earlier? He's about 400 gold off. Plays will become a lot easier to make in probably about another minute. They're giving him space in that mid lane to farm.
Kenapa dia nggak buat tanda ya? Kan itu buatnya bagus juga. Kayak instan gitu. Pak.
Alright, it's on the way.
Yeah, I was like, that Blink Dagger being delivered right now in mid lane with a nice wraparound coming out from the Falcons. They will find 9 class with ease. That's the Slark Diffusal. A lot of damage coming in, though, from this Wrath of Nature. If it hits the right heroes, the Chrono catches, too. The Macro Pyre's onto the Slark. Snaky runs in, throws the war cry, and is like, I'm helping. Runs away, but gets caught from the arrow. A nice sprout back the other way, but now blocking off the whole side of Tundra from being able to help. A great Ice Path to trap, too. The silence out from the Orchid. He's going to burn. Crit. Doing what he can, but Malrine rejoining the fight. It's going to help be able to bring down Thompson. Now Whitemon's going to be next. A 2 for 4 It looked good potentially as a turnaround from Tundra. But my gosh, this Bat Rider is getting so much done in these fights. He is destroying them.
Yeah, they had to clump up just a little bit too much while they tried to finish that Weaver kill, and that meant all the AoE damage from the Bat Rider and the Timbersaw is just hitting every single hero there. I saw those damage numbers come in there. So much work put in, especially by that Timbersaw. But that's just a support Bat Rider, so the fact that he was doing similar damage in that fight, that's exactly what you want.
Ooh, Gleipnir, arrow, it will connect. Nice Stormhammer onto 2, Snake King pops the God Strength, but here comes the rest of Falcons. Tundra really struggling to find their targets right now as they are getting a little bit too tanky on the Falcons. Thompson actually going to get caught here on the bottom side. Sprout does come through. Dark Pact is there. He throws the Shadow Dance as well, and oh boy, things are starting to get scary.
What the fuck?
This Slark, time dilated up, slowed now from the Jakiro. Dark Pact out, has a pounce to the high ground. Oh, gets caught. Does he get bashed though is the question. He's just leading up to a Malrine. Pure gets deleted. Whitemon's gonna be next. That is, he has an Aghanim Scepter on Malrine.
Falcons is really hitting their stride with these heroes. Oh, he's got a regen rune too. All that mana commitment doesn't even matter to the Timbersaw. They're doing a great job of finding the Natures, who actually he's trying to get back into it. He's got a silence onto this Weaver. Gonna find himself a kill. Nature's global teleport, he wants to show up, right? Any hero that's like this, Dawnbreaker, Io, if you can find those heroes, they don't get help from their teammates, right? They want to be the ones farming off on their own and then showing up to the fights. So Falcons has been doing a great job of scouting those areas, placing deep wards, finding the hero who wants to be on his own and can't get help, and killing that hero first, then moving on to the other fights. And we kind of see that in the Natures having 5 deaths at this point. Your mid hero, it's pretty rough, but that's why this hero is different, right? A lot of other mid heroes are very mobile and wouldn't die on their own, but Natures, if he's found, he just has no way to get out. He has to like sprout you off and hope it's fine, but that's not going to stop the heroes on Falcons.
Yeah, you have, like, all 3 cores are very good against the Nature's Prophet, and that's the thing that they kind of plan for when you pick this Nature's Prophet overall first, right? So cool idea from Falcons to let the Nature's Prophet through, or kind of like prepare for a Nature's Prophet draft. Whitemon's going to be found to the side here by Amar. The Ice Path is out. He's just going to rip the Macro Pyre, hoping for anything. They catch actually an arrow onto the Slark. Very nice from Ramses. That's a kill. Snake King in trouble now as well. He's trying to run away here from Ramses, but the Solar Flare damage too much. It ends up being a double kill for Thompson. Sometimes you just need a little bit of lucky arrows to connect.
It's one of the strengths of Mirana, right? For all the skill there is to shooting arrows, sometimes if there is just a bit of luck and you connect on a long duration stun, that's enough to...
Ooh, come on, guys. That's how many times can this keep happening? Okay, Thompson's getting some revenge, and there's a huge Chronosphere as well. Ice Path to follow it up. All right.
That should be
Here
Roshan.
we go, Tundra.
I think you just head on over. No? Maybe they want some deep wards down first?
They intentionally missed the arrow in Marcy
to bait them
combo.
in. I see.
Like,
I see.
Oh yeah. They think we're messing up, but actually, you know, we're baiting it. Very good time right now to go ahead and make sure that you're following and subscribed to the Twitch and YouTube channels here for Fissure Studios, of course, the great minds behind the Universe Episode 3 event here. They put on really good shows, so show them some love, everybody. This has been a great tournament. Tormentor now going to be taken by Tundra. As the Verduitous Dale comes out, the mech. They'll lose a little bit of HP, but they'll be fine. They'll get it. Who do you want it on? Jakiro, not really the one. Blink Lasso. They find Pure. Is he actually? Oh, he had Mask of Madness active. I'm like, why is he not time walking? Oh,
What
Well,
a perfect time to jump in. They must have seen
yeah.
that from their observer that he just activated it to farm that camp. Very well timed. Because of that, Falcons is going to go for Roche first. I'm really surprised Tundra didn't do Roche there. I feel like they should have been able to.
I mean, they definitely could have, right? You have the Nature's Prophet, Treant. I think Marcy had already used Unleash, but generally I think you have enough damage on these other heroes.
I would have thought so. But either way, it's Falcons who should be securing this first Roche. Tundra's coming up. It's going to be too late, but maybe they can find a pick off as Falcons leaves.
They are going to look for this. Skitter's going to show in lane for just a second, but he sees the smoke pop on the Treant, and so he knows that they are here, and that is a full disengage from Falcons.
Alright, good work. They're going to move out to see if they can find anything else, but no one else is in this area. They'll just try to steal a little bit of farm while they can.
Jangan mati dong Ramses anjing. Wah.
Oh, that should be a kill there onto Snake King. Very nice grab. Jump in though from the Marcy.
Okay,
Gets the
second
time lapse,
lapse.
but
Dua kali,
very
dia
quick
kena.
kill. Yeah, that solar flare damage is
Orchid?
absurd. Ice Path is
Orchid,
out.
what?
The damage doing work, but a great save from Amar.
Nice, nice.
Macro Pyre's there. Skitter's still going to go down.
The solar flare plus unleashed. That was so much. Those. Okay, I mean White Mom was there too, but
Ini menang kanan,
it
anjing.
felt like all
Percaya,
of it
Bang.
was the solar flare, unleash, sidekick, or I guess bodyguard this game combo.
Tundra ini.
His entire health bar dropped.
Santai, guys. Kita
3
pasti menang,
times. Once time lapse, twice to kill him, third time for the Aegis. That is scary, and it's only going to get stronger.
tinggal
There's
bikin
still another level of solar
BKB,
flare
is
to
it
go.
good, BKB?
The support Marcy has 3
Apakah ini
bracers,
BKB
so
good?
actually maybe decently strong right now, but as she finishes real items like
BKB di sini
BKB
cuma
and
buat
Basher,
damage saja sih.
that's only
rugi
going to
gitu.
get scarier.
Yeah, I actually think the scaling potential
tetap
on
kena.
Tundra is really scary. Like, the support Sven is always
Jadi langsung
gonna
mati
be
Jing,
kind of this
masalahnya.
aura Warcry bot, but he never really comes on
Dia kena
as
langsung
like
aja,
a
guys.
scaling hero,
Mati dia pasti
right?
sama Slap dan lain-lain.
It's just not what he does from the support role. Like, he's got drums, he's gonna go Solar Crest, and he runs
Tapi di
around
sini ya,
Warcrying people
Tundra,
with his aura, right? Which he has
orangnya
the
banyak,
shard
ada
already,
Marcy.
so that's what this hero does.
Ada
But
Mirana,
9
ada
class,
Void,
no,
wow.
no, 9 class is
Mirana
going to
with
turn
the
into,
solar flare,
like you
guys.
said, a
With
BKB
Marcy,
Basher,
what the fuck,
maybe
bro?
even like an
Gue bahkan
Aghanim
nggak tahu
Scepter
damage-nya kayak
eventually,
gimana, anjing.
like if the game goes late enough.
With NP also,
And Marcy
wow.
just starts deleting heroes.
Though maybe if we keep going long enough, Snaking will then wrap back
Hah?
around to be a carry Sven.
Kenapa evasion anjing gua?
60-minute Midas.
Wah,
Exactly.
ngentot nih.
Exactly.
Permainan.
I mean, you've already got the offlane
Wah
Slark,
anjing, permainan
right?
orang
You're
tua
like,
lagi
we're gonna have a
dicoba-coba
carry
anjing.
over
Gue
there.
benci nih orang main coba-coba
Gonna
gitu.
carry in
Ini
the
turnamen
position
gak usah
5,
coba-coba
why
anjing.
not?
Yeah, the offlane Slark is always going to be the
Anjing
thing that
itu
kind of throws
ngambil
a
evasion buat
question
apa,
mark
bro?
in this game for me.
Wah,
Because if Amar
babi
manages to
ngaco,
stay
Jing,
as
Jing.
far, like as high enough on the net worth, like
Wah,
relative to everyone
ngentot,
else's, he
ngentot.
is.
So apa
He
tuh pakai
could
solar
easily
flare?
take over this game
Kayak
because it is a
Moonlight
very
gitu.
good Slark game.
Wah
outside
ngaco
of
Jing ini
Chronosphere.
Jing.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time with the silences, but he's almost at a disperser,
Waduh,
which
bingung gua.
will solve that for him.
Yeah.
Oke.
I was curious if he was going to go like Manta.
Tapi
BKB,
jujur aja
or
itu
Disperser,
Mirana
but he
talentnya
already
level
had the
15 aneh
Diffusal,
banget.
so
Ngambil
Mage
solar
Slayer
flare evasion
afterward,
apa
Disperser,
Jing?
upgrade
Kayak lu
makes
pakai
the most sense. It gets a lot of effective
ultinya
HP
Mirana
from
sekarang
Zero
bukan
with just
pas-
something like a Mage Slayer.
Buat pas
He's
kayak
also gone for a
Moonlight gitu.
casual bracer, holding his right
Makanya ya
hand,
pas pengen ngehit,
strength
anjing.
treads. Like, he is relatively tanky for a Slark, and I think that makes sense.
Sedangkan lu bakal bisa
considering
di-hit
he came
siapa
from the
anjing? Di sini
offlane,
masalahnya
right?
Corona udah pasti ke Weaver.
Yeah, and
Atau
the
Slug.
nice thing about Disperser compared to Manta BKB,
Pokoknya
as
Slug
a
harus
carry,
ada di dalam Chrono,
Manta
karena kalau
BKB,
Slug
sure,
ada di dalam
right,
Chrono,
help yourself.
otomatis
The
kena
Disperser,
shield,
he's still
kena
an
shield
offlaner,
dari
guys.
Slug.
He's still helping a little bit. I can use this on teammates, guys. Don't worry.
Pokoknya
I'll
Slug
take
harus
the
ada di
silence
dalam.
off you, Skitter.
Maksud gue ini
I'm
kayak
helping, I'm
inisiasi
offlaning.
perfect
I'm not just a second carry.
perfect fight. Kayak beneran fight yang sempurna buat Tundra gitu. Gue masih nggak ngerti tuh
Solar
evasion buat
Flare
apa nih.
Evasion talent at 15. That's a
Okay.
good one. I forgot that exists.
Dia yang pro player anjing, gue siapa babi. Cuman tetap aja nggak setuju gitu. Kayak lu nyoba-nyoba
Yeah,
jing
that's,
menurut gue.
just more synergy into it, huh?
Kalau main
guess-
turnamen nggak usah nyoba-nyoba bangsat.
I guess pretty good versus the
Latihan
Weaver
nyoba-nyoba,
and the
Jing.
Slark. Maybe that late game carry Sven we were joking about. But at least
Saya
At
udah
least
pick Mirana gitu.
your
Udah
Timber
pick
and your
Mirana,
Bad Rider
udah
will still be
otomatis
doing a lot of damage
beneran
during
pengen
Solar
nge-deal
Flare.
damage, Jing.
You
Udah
kind of don't
alin
want to
aja.
fight in solar flare if you can help it anyways.
Oh, well. Another Blink Lasso onto Thompson
Thompson
from
ngentot,
Crit.
ngentot,
That is, I think, the third
Main
time
mati
we've seen
mulu
him get
anjing.
the lasso onto the Nature's Prophet, and they might start to understand that there's a pretty deep ward that's been placed there.
Gem
There's
nggak
been
sih?
one here for most of the game. They move it around.
Gue harus
but
gem sih.
They've kept really good vision of this area.
Tapi di sini Thompson
Keep
mati nggak
finding
kenapa-napa
heroes
juga,
here.
guys. Nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain juga mereka.
Marine's build is
Menurut gua kanan
actually
perangnya
very
strong banget.
problematic. Shiva's
Walaupun di
with
sini ada
Kaya
Timber
now
ya.
into-
Tapi Timber kayaknya nggak ngaruh deh menurut gue. Di sini yang
Awesome for a
berperan
second. I don't know
penting
what he
dari
can do
kiri
up there.
menurut gue Weaver.
Looks like BKB.
Okay, so he is gonna
Weaver
be
Slark.
I don't know how you're
Karena
gonna
ini
kill
Slark
this guy as the
beneran
game
bisa
goes on.
shutdown one on one
You have
semua
everyone
dari
focusing him. You'll still be able to
core-nya
go through
Tundra,
it,
Jing.
but of course that's difficult to get.
Ini
Usually there's
ketemu
a
satu-satu
bigger
semuanya
team
mati,
fight.
Jing.
Smoke at night against a Slark. See how
They're
pathing
looking
works
for the
out.
back
Yeah,
line.
Timber.
Ooh, they
Bro,
get
why?
Marine. Do they have the damage? Pure
kenapa
on the
Timber,
backside
bro? What?
looking for a chrono target,
Wah,
but is
ngentot.
he going to
Mati
get an
dong.
opportunity to? Amar's right on top of him. This is
Wah.
not the fight that you want, and Marine just surviving it all. Thompson
Timber
trying to
mati,
do
nice.
some work. They will finally turn their attention back to the
Walaupun
Timber Saws.
gue
He is just
kurang
completely
suka sih sebenarnya
isolated.
lu
And
skill Timber.
Falcons
Kenapa
will
gitu?
back away to start split
Wah,
pushing
ini tuh
these
serem banget, bro.
lanes.
Timbernya
Bit
sempet lagi
unlucky
pakai
for
Aghanim
Falcons
anjing.
the way they path. The Slark just walked past them,
Serem banget.
so you didn't get to take advantage
Tapi
of that.
kayaknya ketahan sama solar
Vision.
flare-nya
High
Mirana.
ground
Smokes
ward.
against
Sini masih ada
it.
Chrono,
Bad.
guys. Kanan masih
Brit's
bisa
just
menang.
hiding
Warnya.
here. Dude, there are 3 Falcons heroes
Dan lagi
just like
pokoknya
around
targetnya
that
kanan,
triangle,
perfect.
but
Perfect fight-nya.
deciding not to go in for this.
Nice.
I see Thompson. Ramses will
Ramsey.
find the Bat Rider this time.
Perfect fight-nya. Slark ada di dalam
Not
Chrono.
getting
Udah itu aja.
away.
Slark ada di dalam Chrono
They
sama
stand
Weaver. Itu perfect banget fight-nya. Like really.
Maybe making
fucking
sure no one
perfect.
else was in that area.
Like seriously.
If one hero hid here, maybe another one.
Pokoknya Thompson di sini jangan kayak kemarin lah
Time to do
mainnya
their own
ngentot tuh
tormentor
kemarin
on the
Thompson
side of
anjing kayak
Falcons. If they can
orang
get it
bego anjing
for-
mainnya sebel banget gua.
I guess Sven's already got his actually.
Apa
Who's,
tuh bang
who's
ngentot
next in
mati dulu?
line? Maybe Bat Rider and we.
Dia
All
mati,
three of
guys.
them are pretty
Kemarin tuh
decent.
Thompson dia pakai Bat Rider kan, dia
that's
mati.
great
Dia nggak
for
terima,
Skitter.
anjing.
He just gets the free
Dia nggak
farms
terima,
now.
abis itu dia commit lagi TP anjing baru hidup. Mati lagi bangsat gak jelas banget.
Yeah, since
Matinya
he's already
tuh
got
bukan
Glide
karena
Gear and a couple other items,
satu-satu
it's very
gitu,
easy to
tapi
one-shot
1 lawan
creep
3
waves now
anjing.
without showing
Dia
yourself
tiba-tiba
for very
dagger ke
long.
depan, ngentot gak jelas banget. Dia ngelihat anjing
BKB
1 lawan 3
is
ngehe.
done. So,
Oh, ngaco
Nine
aja
Class
gitu,
and
Jing.
Whitemon gonna see if they can find
Thompson
someone
babi,
trying to
babi.
contest this mid creep wave.
Permainan tol anjing itu kemarin sumpah mati.
As Piranha is not that far away, but it's a
Piranha,
bait.
wait.
They're going to be able to go in. The Blink
Sorry,
Lasso
dude,
just
dude.
deletes some of the Chronospheres there. The turnaround with a big Macro Pyre. They've managed to get the pick out the Pat Rider. The Sven. They turn around onto the Mar. He's stuck inside the Macro Pyre. Malrine with the Ag ends up
Nice.
defying himself subspace, but a great dispose.
Awas,
from
meledak,
Nine
meledak,
Class.
meledak, Dan.
Malrine, the Axe is about to expire. It's a lot of damage, but can he
Jangan
survive
sedih,
now is the
betul.
question. It looks like it. Skitter coming in here on the Weaver, able to take down the Jakiro. And
Itu yang
during
gua maksud,
all of this,
Jing.
Amar
Tundra kalau udah pakai
lived.
Aghanim itu susah banget di-kill.
I
Tapi
thought
Slarknya
that
nggak
was
mati
looking so much
ngentot,
better for
ngentot.
Tundra. That chrono bait was so good, though. Unfortunately, she still died. in
Sumpah,
there.
itu
I
tadi
think
kalau
if
udah
she
solar
lived,
flare ya, itu
solar
rata,
flare
Jing.
never got to come out.
Kalau itu
so
solar
that could've
flare-nya
been
keluar,
a
ya itu
huge
rata
tipping
sumpah
point
mati nih.
If maybe that chrono is just a fraction of a second sooner. But Malrine is so hard
Ramjas
to
mati
kill
nggak
with
apa-apa,
his
tapi
items
yang
that we were
penting
talking
solar
about earlier.
flare-nya
He lives
ya
through all that.
keluar gitu.
It's the final day for the giveaway. Everybody go ahead and make sure to type exclamation point 1x give in
Ini
chat.
menang kanan,
to
Jing.
join.
Harus menang kanan, ngehe. Tundra nggak pernah menang nih, nggak pernah juara.
And Malrine, I think realizes he's actually borderline unkillable unless they dump everything on him, and so he is just going for a
Ya itu
Scythe
killable.
Device, which
Timber menurut gua
is a
killable. Ini
very
Caspernya
sick
so tau
pickup
anjing.
this game.
Tadi karena solar flare-nya nggak
It'll also
Nggak
help
keluar aja
prompt
gitu.
Lincolns, which I think some might start to be built.
Dia kayak solar flare sih gila abis
Tech
aja.
first lasso, so you're gonna preemptively have another way to deal with it. I mean, we'll see.
Cocok di sini ada void
maybe
juga.
they just depend on BKB.
Gua nggak kebayang sih dia match kayak gimana.
Could be really helpful versus a hero like
Tadi
Faces
kalau solar
Void,
flare-nya
who's
keluar, aduh.
a little tricky
Nggak
to
kebayang
lock
gua
down
kayak
if you
damage-nya.
don't get the jump.
Void itu, waduh anjing itu rata Jing, gue yakin banget. RATA anjing itu.
The Revenant's Brooch for the
Aku
Nature's
coba itemnya.
Prophet is definitely interesting.
Ngentot lu bikin begituan buat apaan? Topson anjing.
It's not something we see all that
Wah,
often, but it is
Sebenarnya bikin
a
build tuh yang
pretty
kandang maksud gua
significant damage
bagus banget
boost
jing
for
itu
this
NP
item,
kandang nih.
or for
Gua
this
udah coba
hero once he
anjing
picks
bagus
it
banget.
up.
Kayak lu
I just
finger
wonder if
gratis
it
guys
makes
setiap
them
6 detik anjing.
not tanky
Set.
enough.
Setiap 6
We'll
detik
see,
semprot
though.
kayak finger gratis itu. Tas.
Maybe you need the mixture of damage
Ngentot.
since
Mati
you're all
jing
right
anak
click,
orang.
but they're just
going
itemizing
in.
for armor.
They find a good opening, but they don't manage to connect on it
Gleipnir,
right
ah.
away. The Gleipnir's out onto the Weaver, gets the 4-staff
Gleipnir
save. He's
sih
gonna
tadi
be okay.
bartendernya,
And with
anjing,
Solar
anjing.
Flare being popped, you just walk away, kite this one
Dude.
out, wait for the next fight.
Topson ya itu.
Yeah, and actually you might just hope
Udah mulai
Roche is
soto ini
spawning
mainan ini.
soon, which unlucky they got
Tapi
another
buat
40
Timber,
seconds to go.
kayaknya sih buat
But
Timber
there
ya
will be a
menurut
solar
gua.
flare to fight over
Malah dia buat
even
begituan.
then, so you can just chill, try to
Karena
take Roche on
kayaknya
for yourself.
ultinya gua nggak tahu ya karena gua belum coba juga. Gua nggak tahu. Tapi kayaknya di pikirannya Topson kayaknya skill 3 aganimnya si Timber kayaknya nggak tembus gitu sama itu. Apa sih yang tembus tuh Revenant Brooch. Mungkin Topson pikirnya gitu. Gue juga nggak tahu ya tembus atau enggak. Belum nggak pernah coba juga masalahnya. Harusnya tembus sih. Setahu gue kalau Magic kena skill 3-nya Timber yang aganim itu tembus setahu gue.
A lot of these fights
Tapi
have come
ntar
down
kita
to
coba lihat
crits
aja.
initiation, and like
Tapi
that one
tetep kayak
specifically,
apa
right?
ya?
He blinks up onto the
Tuh, item nggak ada
high
yang
ground
bleeding
there.
masalahnya.
Doesn't quite connect, right? He's just barely
Nggak
off
bagus
the
gitu
mark.
karena nggak ada yang beli karena nggak bagus
Smart
anjing.
decision to just pull away,
Bukan
right?
karena
Like, okay,
apa-apa,
we didn't
bro.
get the opening we wanted, just back. And they actually force a little bit of a reaction out from Tundra at the same time. And
Mentot dia masih kebukrip ya anjing.
bottom lane, though,
Masa
Roshan
udah
is
jalan,
starting.
anjing.
The roar is out. A little bit of a bait play here. They're not fully committing to this, and they've got two really good wards set up here to try and find the fight. Amar will pop the smoke here. Jakiro catches him at the moment. The arrow hits a creep. The blink, the lasso. Marine, they've managed to get on top of 9 class, but the BKB is out from him. But Thompson's just getting ripped apart by Skidder and Amar. He does manage to make it out for now. Snake King will be the first to fall as he's going to buy back right into this game.
Nice.
Marine going to let the Ags rip here. Reactive armor should keep him plenty healthy.
Kayak ada buyback dari Seven. Nothing.
The solar
nothing,
flare
guys.
is down. The
Nothing.
BKBs are spent. Tundra kind of out of gas here. You
Solar
still have
flare-nya
the
udah kepake.
Chronosphere.
Tapi Corona masih ada.
All less damage without that
Masih
solar
bisa fight.
flare.
Masih bisa fight, yakin gua. Anjing
But
tadi
you
kalau
get the
slugnya kena
macro
Gleipnir
fire.
aja anjing,
Those two
mati
alone
jing.
could be enough.
Tuh di hero gitu. Tadi pas aspek,
They
wah
find
mentot.
9 class. Oh, he gets out just barely. The Macropire is in. They're trying to finish off this
Ini gua bilang,
Malrine Timber
kalau
Slot, but they
slugnya
can't.
nggak mati,
Amar
pasti
with a
dikasih shard,
beautiful
gitu di
save
chrono.
once again off of the depth
Ini
shroud.
gua bilang,
He
Jing,
goes in,
slugnya
takes
terus di
down
dalam
Thompson
chrono.
himself. Snake King will burn.
Mati,
That's
mati,
going to be a
mati.
dieback onto him. The Ice Path onto Skitter's Weaver. They got him.
Oke, slugnya mati
2
juga.
for 2 here as Amar ripping through the
Mati
back
dong, masa
lines,
nggak
but
mati
he's
nih?
out of
Wah, ngentot
resources.
nih.
Can he juke them through the trees? It looks
Wah,
like he can.
anjing
And
lawak,
9 class
bro.
being focused down as Skidder. He time-lapsed back into the fight. He's going to be able to
anjing.
rebound away for now, but Ramsey's not going to be as lucky. The chase continues. The Yules to cancel the TP.
Aduh,
9
Rivernya
class
buyback.
dead as the Jakiro's going to join him. A
Fightnya masih
massive
oke lah.
win
Masih
for
oke lah, masih oke lah,
Falcons.
Fightnya masih hidup gitu,
It's like
masih oke
2
lah.
diebacks,
Menurut
but it's 5 total deaths on
kiri
Tundra.
buyback dari Weaver.
Yeah, I keep getting baited by these fights. They're really scrappy, going both ways.
Itu yang gue bilang kayak
And
Slark tuh
I think for
harus ada di
Falcons,
dalam
the big
chrono.
thing is that
Karena kalau Slark
gets
nggak ada di
out.
dalam
He
chrono,
steals
mereka
22 stacks
fix
or
mati.
something I saw.
Semua
And
yang di
then
The Chrono
Liz
tuh udah pasti
healed
selamat.
up because of his passive.
Karena
and is able
slugnya
to
bisa kasih
rejoin
shard, guys.
with all of those stacks.
Makanya
At
gue
that point,
bilang
you can't fight
perfect
anymore.
fight
So if you
buat
don't
Tundra
kill
itu
Falcons
Slark
fast
harus
enough
ada
with
di
your
dalam
combo,
chrono.
your solar
Atau enggak,
flare,
at least
your
kalau Slark nggak ada di
chronosphere,
dalam chrono,
just feels like you run out of
dia harus udah
damage,
kepake gitu
whereas
shardnya.
Falcons is just ramping up throughout the fight. The napalm
Kalau shardnya
stacks,
kepake
the
otomatis
buzz,
itu pasti dibuka anjing
your
chrononya.
armor, Timber Saw, as long as he has mana, he's throwing out damage. The Slark
Ini yang gue
stacks.
bilang kayak
You have to win these fights
sayang
quickly
banget
versus Falcons.
sekali lagi.
And unfortunately, I think I saw
Karena-
Thor not BKB when he chronoed.
Seperti yang awal tadi gue bilang juga guys,
Instantly you will
Slark
tip, so
di sini
wasted
itu bisa
tons
ngelawan
of
semua
chrono,
core-nya
I didn't see
kanan
that.
anjing.
time,
Kayak
not
satu-satu
getting much
dia nggak
damage.
takut jing. Kayak ayo lu
I
ngentot
think
berantem anjing.
part of this too is
Walaupun
just
kalah-
the
kayak
way
kalah item gitu, kayak
Falcons
mereka,
play
ayo
this
berantem
offlane
anjing.
Slark, which is really
Slark
cool.
nggak takut.
He's making sure that he is never
Jadi
near
maksud gua,
the
jadi
other
Slark nggak
cores,
bisa
right?
ditekan
Like
gitu.
Skidder and Malrine get caught in the chronosphere, and
Jadi
he's
nggak akan
like,
pernah
boom,
ada
behind
kejadian
him,
kayak
pounce
Slark
over,
pakai
death shroud
shard
both
untuk
of
dirinya
them.
sendiri guys.
And
Karena mereka nggak
because
bisa
of that,
ditekan
like,
gitu. Karena Slarknya nggak bisa
your
ditekan.
like offlane Slark's value is insanely high.
Sama siapa ditekan
And
anjing
then
Slarknya.
he's like you said, still surviving in these These fights
dari
getting tons of
hero-heronya kan
SC
nggak
stacks
ada
is
yang bisa ditekan.
becoming a massive issue. He has an Aghanim Scepter now, and he's
Kan
queued up
soalnya
an A
core
on
kanan
this.
tuh
Whether or not he
makanan
finishes
Slark
it,
semua.
we'll see. But already getting everything they could want out of the offlane Slark.
Yeah, I like the idea of this A on this
Tapi menurut
because
gue emang Amar jago sih guys.
on your
anjing.
team you
Maksud gue itu
sort
Slark
of want
offense
Slark
ngentot
to
sih
be on the
main kayak gitu
front
si anjing.
because he has
Yeah.
the best vision
Tai anjing dia
and
main
good
ngehe.
survivability, but he also needs to be the
Orang-orang
same for
tai,
the
tapi menurut gue
Chronosphere.
di sini kayak
So if you do both, it's difficult.
dia
Like, if
sampai
you're
di
on the
titik
front,
ini
you
gitu,
can't save
menurut
yourself
gue
with the
anjing. Ini orang
Chronosphere
jago sih.
if they jump you. But
Dia
now
mau
with A on
dia mau
this,
buat pike
that's
anjing. What the
how-
fuck? Slark.
Now you don't want to
Hurricane
Chronosphere
Pike, what the
Slark,
fuck, bro?
But you don't want a Chronosphere
For
if
real.
you don't get the Slark. Now your game is so difficult on pure. Like how do you choose what to do?
Ini so tau nih,
if he
caster nih
finishes that
ngentot.
Aeon, which
Difficult
he has
gimana
switched
sih
over to
anjing?
queue up
Malah
a
difficult
Hurricane
sih,
Pike.
bego.
I don't know what's going on.
Ini mereka tinggal nunggu Aegis aja.
More mobility, I
Atau
guess.
nggak,
and stats.
I think
Yang
it's for
penting
the Sprout
Slarknya kena
leash
Chrono
is
dulu
why.
dah.
Guess so.
We'll see. Nice
Slark
jump
kena
into the
Chrono
mid
aja,
lane.
udah
They've
bego
got
anjing.
Skitters. The damage there to finish
Slark
off the
kena
back
Chrono,
of
guys,
fire.
dulu ya.
Chronosphere on the backside. They get crit and they get him R. But can they finish him in time? He's going to survive. The Shadow Dance is out.
Oh, ya.
Here's
Kalau-
forced to
kalau-
BKB.
pokoknya kalau
Maureen
Slark
stuck
kena
inside
Chrono,
the
pasti
Sprout
mati
once
di dalam
again. And
Chrono.
the damage from the
Mantap,
Solar
bro.
Flare. Oh my god, they got him. Skitter and Amar, the last hopes here. Snake King's going to die on the backside, but it seems like these two might be too strong. They're going to buy back on the Marana.
Kenapa
To
buyback
get
sih?
the gem.
Ngentot. Kenapa buyback, bro?
Oh
Wah,
boy,
man,
the
Metro Jing,
Slark.
Jing.
It is getting a little scary here.
Anjing Slarknya nggak mati jing di
Forget
dalam Chrono
ATX
ngentot.
brief
Ngentot.
time
Sayang
as a
banget.
carry player.
Wah,
He's definitely gonna.
wah.
Yeah, he's got 33 stacks.
Wah,
He's looking
mati
to
nih.
fight. This is
Wah,
a
mati
little
nih
scary.
ngentot.
1v3
Ngentot mati nih
at
jing.
the
Ini
end
gue
of
bilang
tier 3.
Slarknya nggak bisa dilawan jing. Mati dia.
I was like,
Mati,
he
bro.
has Shadow Dance, he's fine. He could just go in. He's out of mana on Pure.
56
He will get the stick off,
Lihat,
gets
Slark,
away.
anjing, nggak ada yang
9
bisa
class
ngelawan,
just
guys.
getting
Ini
ripped
gua
through to
bilang.
Mars, not done.
Karena
Will
semua
finally back away as he has
makanannya
no
Slark
ult
gitu,
left in the
hero-heronya
tank.
kanan tuh makanan
But
Slark
yeah, I
semua
mean, just
gitu.
gets a kill on to 9 class. She's on a dieback timer now.
He's gonna look for more. 60 stacks.
Anjing,
is
aginya
insane. He has
60, anjing.
430 base damage right now. This is absurd.
sih emang, Amar jago
625
banget,
attack speed. Yeah, he's not leaving. He's looking around. It's like, you think
Bikin
they're
EUL
not
nggak
leaving their
sih?
base?
Buat timber buat
He's
timber
going straight
Aghanim
to top
gitu.
lane. Yeah, he's just going to keep roaming around, see what he can find. I mean, the stacks are going to start falling off here pretty quick.
Look at that
but
attack speed, though. That's exactly
Gimana
why
ya
he wants
bisa
to
terus
find another hero.
he also got a
Aduh,
really
Donasi.
good jungle item. This is like one of the best jungle items you can get on the
Kayak nggak bisa mati gitu jing di sini kayaknya deh.
Just
So
flat
good.
attack speed. It's the only other one that you want is the Mind Breaker, right? But this one is
Ayo Tundra
exceptionally
anjing.
good.
And
Menang
again,
dong
if you
ngentot.
get,
Masa
if
kalah
you're
mulu
the
sama
chrono
Falcon anjing
target,
kayak
that
maksud
extra
gua
armor is gonna go a long way to keep you alive.
Kayak
Especially
latihan
if
terus,
Sven
ternyata
manages
buat
to
apa,
get a
anjing?
war cry out to give you a barrier. Just
Kalau
extra
menurut
value
gua
there.
tim Tundra ini ya itu kayak potensial juara gitu jing, potensial juara TI gitu.
It's level 24 because he's
Walaupun
living
balik lagi
through
gua nggak
all
suka
these
Thompson ya
fights.
anjing. Thompson emang mainnya kayak
Yeah.
tai kucing anjing.
He's actually now the new carry. It's really not
Thompson
Skitter
main kayak
anymore.
nggak ada
It's
kayak nggak ada
now
beban
Amar.
gitu.
Skitter is still crazy
farming di tengah
farm as
jalan
well.
anjing,
They have a
anjing
Wind
tiba-tiba
Waker
dagger
on the
lawan
Bat
3
Rider
orang
now, so
kayak
if
kemarin
you are
Edgar.
not
Aduh,
catching the Bat Rider in the
benci banget gua.
Chronosphere, he's actually getting out of this one.
Wajar nggak sih
Saving
Thompson
heroes
ranknya
as
masih
well as the
rank
Slark
100 gitu. Orang-orang yang pada jago-jago
Maybe that's why he didn't go A
udah
on this.
14 kajing, dia masih
Crit's
12
like, don't
kan,
worry,
nih.
homie, I got you. You get chronoed, I save you.
That is a good
Oke, Null Fire buat
way
Void.
to continue to make Pure's life
Artinya
difficult.
Timber bisa
Anyone
di
who split faces
shutdown
Void already knows the
dengan
pressure
cepat
of landing
gitu.
a good Chronosphere, not catching your team, catching a lot of enemy heroes.
Tundra
And
butuh
now you're
Aegis
just
nih.
adding to the list. Like, okay, if I don't get Slark,
Dia nggak boleh
he's
kasih
gonna
Aegis
get
lagi guys,
Trust.
dia nggak boleh
If I
kasih
don't
Rosan
get
lagi.
Crit, he's
Karena
gonna
kalau
win Waker
sempet
safe.
kiri dapat
He just
Rosan
finished
lagi
it.
anjing, ini
They
kayak
don't
nggak
know
bisa
quite
dibunuh
yet,
anjing.
so maybe
Ya udah
maybe
sulit
get
gitu
one
ngebunuh.
surprise save.
Bro.
After that, you now know it's like, okay,
Wow, Aghanim
2 heroes.
Void.
I gotta make sure I'm grabbing. Maybe Weaver at some point is gonna get Naganims. He's gonna time lapse save people.
Gua nggak ngerti sih
Like, how
Aghanim
are you
Void
ever
di sini
gonna
buat apa ya.
Chronosphere? At that point, maybe.
Gua nggak
maybe it
tahu
would've been
Aghanim Void di
time
sini buat
zone
apa, Jing.
time.
Tapi
Yeah, but
dia yang pro player.
10,000 gold lead
Gua
all
nggak
of a
ngerti
sudden.
apa-apa.
I think a lot of it is like the
Thompson bikin
offlane
build
Marana has
lu
not
aja
had
nggak
a
sih
lot
kayak
of
bikin build kanda gitu.
like
Anjing,
this
itu
this
bagus
hero
banget,
as a
bro. Sayang
non-one
banget gitu
position
lu nggak
doesn't
buat di sini.
really get a lot of space to farm. So she's definitely
Kayak
struggling.
instant
she
death
wants
gitu,
to find
Jing.
a lot of her
Masalahnya
kills
orang-orang-
or a lot of her money from kills. It is
Sama MP tuh.
daytime. Smoke's
Wah.
gonna pop Amar, trying to figure out
Yang-
where they are. He almost rips the chrono. They actually
Early
get the
ult.
ult out of him as he's just gonna start stacking
Nice!
up from here
Nice!
onto 9 class. They
Perfect,
get
bro!
the Timber
Perfect!
Shot, the Nullifier's out onto the Slark, the Orchid there as well. They've got them both! No, Maureen lives, the BKB comes out.
Jangan mati,
Ramses
jangan
up
mati.
onto the high ground under his own BKB, trying to just
Oh,
get
man,
away
put
from
the
this
flash,
Timber
ding,
Shot,
ding.
but Skitter going right through this backline, trying to finish off one. He gets
Wah,
him,
man.
now looking
Kalah
for
nih.
Thompson. He's
Masih
forced to
kalah, wah,
BKB, turn around, but Snake
wah,
King
kacau,
is
Jin.
just too tanky as well.
Wah,
Pure
men, itu perfect chrono, bro.
Gleipnir up, nowhere to go. He's dead. Marana falls as well.
Wah,
A
nggak tahu.
5-4-1. Falcon
Wah,
living
anjing,
on
itu perfect
just
chrono.
slivers
Babi,
of
menurut
HP,
gua
but
dapet
it's enough.
timber. Tapi kayak nggak ada damage gitu.
We were joking Slark's the carry.
Lu nggak sih anjing?
They're focusing him like he's the
Lu nggak
carry,
sih,
but there
bro?
is actually a
Buat
carry
timber gitu.
in Skitter that was just
Jadi
free
biar
in that
agan
fight to
timber
launch his
pakai agalim
attacks.
tinggal eul aja
Maybe
ngentuk.
Slark baiting, thinking he could be saved by the Wind Waker, but Crit actually initiates at the same time,
Wah,
so he wasn't able to help his Slark. But you're happy with that trade. Slark for 5
Wah, nggak tahu gue
heroes.
cara menangnya
Now
lagi
you're
gimana
at the
kanan
base.
ngi.
Skitter has an amplified
Kagak
damage
mati,
rate.
jing itu perfect chrono guys.
This is not gonna last
You
very
guys to
long.
have
Now,
admit that
fortunately,
gitu
Tundra
kayak
does still have
anjing
two
that
tier 2
was
towers
fucking
left.
perfect chrono for them.
But the tier 4s are being
Like seriously
picked.
fucking perfect.
They're gonna
Slark
cut
on
the
there,
creep waves,
timber on there
make
gitu.
sure the other lanes start pushing in.
Mereka nggak bisa execute
Second
dengan
fortify.
damage-nya mereka
A lot
gitu.
of time here.
I was gonna say, I'm
What the
curious
fuck was
if
GG, I
they
think.
would have just gone straight to the
GG, bro.
to end instead of
They have
going
no
for
volley
the,
also, what the fuck?
racks, but jump in here from Maureen, tries to go for Whitemon,
fucking God.
making
Actually
some
sad.
space. You're
Woi, wah, kenapa nih anjing? Wah, internetnya mati, ngentot.
Here comes the Timber Saw. Orchid is out. He's got
Jing.
Gleipnir plus, of course, the Revenant's Brooch, but the Wind Waker out from Crit might be enough to save him. Skitter onto the backside, just deletes the Jakiro. Can Skitter get out of this one? It looks like
Wah,
he will.
ngentot
He's
ini.
a little low on
Kalau
resources. You
ini
get
sense
one
mana
of the tier 4s and another kill and a
Mereka
buyback
kalah
out of
gitu.
Thompson. The amount that they are getting from Tundra in these responses is so
Menurut
worth
gua
it.
di sini Agarimnya Void.
And maybe didn't want to go
Yang mana,
straight
Jing?
for it. I think there's two reasons. One,
Kan
you
gitu
don't
lu
have the
mah
buyback
1.300
status of
buat
the Face is
begituan,
Void,
bro.
so-
Wah,
Yeah, you could get the buyback, but then maybe
Kacau
you're in a
gitu.
compromising position. But secondly, in case this game does go late, I'd say one way Tundra gets back into this is via ratting, right, with a Nature's Prophet. So if you can guarantee yourself a barracks, you're already feeling good about how fights are going. Now you have a lane always pushing in your favor. That helps to...
Jing.
A pike there for Ramses. This one's actually quite nice. For people that don't know, like Force Staff can't get you out of Pounce, but Hurricane Pike can. It's it's the only item I think that really can get you out of the Pounce outside of a Wind Waker. So this will help quite a bit.
You can't use it like a force step, right? You have to use
Correct.
it...
Yeah, you have to use it on the Slark or like on an enemy unit because the way it works is it applies as a debuff to enemies rather than.
Oh,
a buff
Blink Blast
yourself.
auto Thompson. He's just dead. No buyback.
Banget sih Thompson anjing.
I mean, that might be
That's
it.
just game. That like a smile from Maureen. They know the game just ended. They are not able to even get back to the base in time. I
Thompson
think
mainnya
this
emang
throne
bener-bener
might
kacau,
just
Jin.
fall pure. He's looking for a
Kayak nggak mau
Chronosphere.
menang gitu.
But what do? You gotta pick and choose who you go on. They're trying to take down Snaking first. The BKB is out here from Skitter. He's just focusing the throne. Has a time lapse, but a Wind Waker comes out. He's gonna fall down. The Chronosphere is there. Actually, okay. They get him. He can buy back into this fight as soon as the Chrono's gone. He's gonna do that. He's down to low HP though. Skitter, be careful. The throne isn't
Skitter.
even gonna fall. It's gonna be Maureen turning his attention
Crit
with
to
the
the
help of
back.
Crit to finish it off, and they will do it. Falcons will take game number 1.
Thompson, ngentot Thompson.
That was a little scary when Skitter bought back and then died pretty quickly.
Time lapsed in, gets like half HP immediately. You're like, "Grr."
Yeah, but fortunately, Crit focused gamer. He's not diving foul. He's taking
Thompson wah ngentot.
Really well done from
Thompson harus
Falcons.
kena kick
I'd
sih
say
menurut gua.
never really letting the natures do what he wanted to.
Menurut gua Thompson
You
harus kena kick kayaknya.
constantly found the pickoffs and just slowed down Tundra enough that as you start to get into the proper team fights, it was really close. Like, even though it ended kind
Gua
of
Thompson
in
harus di
a
kick
very
gitu.
quick fashion towards the end,
Itu beneran
there
itu
were
orang
so
kacau
many
sih
fights
mainnya.
where it really looked like Tundra was about
Beneran
to win
mainnya
the
kayak
fight,
tai gitu
but
itu
Slark
orang.
is living just barely, and
Yeah.
Maureen is getting away with like 100 health, and then comes back in to do like 800 damage at once, right? Because he didn't kill him. So
Coba kita lihat.
that's
Tundra
where those
Twitternya kayak
ganks on the
gimana,
Nature's
guys?
Prophet make the difference. You slow down his timings just a little bit. Otherwise, maybe he's
Kita lihat
doing the
Tundra
extra
Twitternya
100
kayak
damage
gimana,
to
guys?
finish the kills, and Tundra's running away with this with the
Pasti
tree and solar
komennya
flare
kacau-kacau sih.
destroying your base. A very close game here for just game number 1.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of wild. Is this was very
Ini
close
kacau-kacau
to
sih.
potentially swinging back for Tundra, right? Because we're seeing Thompson start to get a lot of damage out in these late game fights, but I think it was that mid game, like you said,
fucking
of the
joke,
Slark
Thompson.
surviving too many times. Crit
mean,
being
Thompson's
as farmed
fucking
as
joke.
he is with
This
like
is a
the
joke.
Blink, the Wind Waker, the Force Staff.
What
I mean,
the
he's
fuck?
as farmed as Ramses at
that?
the end of this game on the offlane Marana, and I think that is kind of the secret to Falcon's success here is his early rotations. The first 2 Blink reveals both used to get Thompson, and he gets a third one like later on as well. So it's slowing down that Nature's Prophet, but getting himself a lot of XP and gold, which just pays off, so heavily by the end of this game because of that Wind Waker.
Yeah, and your initiations are a lot easier, right? You just blink lasso whoever you want. That's kind of it. You are a little worried maybe of the response chrono, but you just make sure ATF is like, hey, I'm blink lassoing this guy, I'm going to pull him back, but you don't come in as well, because otherwise we're both being chronoed, and then that's that, right? But you mentioned earlier, Amar was doing a great job of either taking point for his team, providing the vision for the fight, the smoke break, he's very survivable. If he ults in time, he can't be chronoed, right? Otherwise, he's keeping his distance from his team so that they get chronoed, and then he pounces over, he drops the Death Shroud, and saves them.
Yeah, it was super cool to see the offlane Slark. Baiting the attention a lot of the times, right? Him and Malrine pulling a lot of kind of the aggro from Tundra, so that it makes it a little bit easier for a Crit and a Mar to set up these types of saves. But yeah, it's a team effort, really well done. They definitely deserve that one. I'm trying to look at the stats here. Like, that's the thing is there's not like any like, oh my gosh, this scoreline. I think Malrine is probably the most impressive on the mid Timber Saw, which shouldn't be surprising. It's one of his absolute best heroes. Almost the highest damage in the game, just second to Thompson, but 16, 4, and 19. That's pretty good. I think you're pretty happy about that on a mid Timber.
Yeah, there's only so much info we can show on this one screen, but looking at the in-game stats, another interesting statistic is the damage received by Team Falcons and how much they reduced. Because once they saw that opening, I believe it was the Nature's, Marcy, Marana, and we're saying like, okay, they're looking to make really good use of Solar Flare. That means right-click physical damage. And so Falcons immediately grabs the Sven, and you already have the Timber Saw building the armor, the last pick Slark. So they reduced a lot of damage, like 10 to 20% more than Tundra did. And that's why these fights are so close, because they knew we just itemized for armor, guys. We have the evasion from the butterfly, right? We have the depth shroud save. So they did a really good job of addressing the core idea of Tundra's draft, which is right-click burst damage, essentially. Like, hey, we're going to land the chrono, we're going to pop the solar flare, we're going to try to kill everyone in that time. And
I was gonna say, looking at those numbers specifically, they also like the damage reduced stat, like I think they average like 65% like physical damage reduction across the entire team, which is pretty wild. Very good stuff from them. So yeah, excited to see game 1. This was a lot of fun. We'll see what happens as we get ready to jump into game number 2. So for right now, we're gonna go to a short break, everyone, and we'll be back with Tundra versus Falcons in a little bit. We'll see you soon. Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on. We're apparently not going to a break yet. My apologies. We've got some other stuff we gotta do first.
That's fine. I have more I want to say about Nature's Prophet, because this hero, I think. Okay, so first, MVP to Slark on ATF. He had a really good performance, despite what a lot of people would probably believe when you see the Slark off lane. You're tilting already, but he knows how to play it. He loves this hero, and he's talked to his team. He's explained, like, here's how we play around me. I go first in all the smoke ganks. He knew exactly how to make that hero work, which is fantastic. And a big part of that was hunting down the Natures a lot of times. And he was able to do it solo as well. Which is a big part of just stopping what Tundra wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, the solo kills on the Nature's Prophet from the Slark were pretty massive. All right, we are now getting ready to go to a break, but before we do, everybody, make sure to enter the giveaway. Go ahead and type !1x give in chat. You can take advantage of that, and then we'll be back with game number 2. We'll see you in a bit.
everyone should know about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the small break as we're getting ready to jump into game number 2 of Falcons versus Tundra, and a really exciting game 1. I will say Falcons, a really clever draft. The last pick Slark coming in big time for them, as I'm sure Amar had an absolute blast playing it. What do you think we can expect going into game number 2 here?
I don't think Tundra's idea was bad. I like what they tried to do, and they actually pulled a small lead to start, but Falcons managed to find some fights to get back into it, and it remained a very even game until like 30 plus minutes. So yeah. I think Tundra maybe just needs to make smaller changes, not, oh, we were totally wrong with our idea, right? I think a big part of it was how good of a job Falcons did at placing deep wards and finding Thompson on this Nature's Prophet. This hero is meant to get your team ahead through farm efficiency, because he's farming the parts of your map that your team doesn't want to be in, and yet he is still showing up to the aggressive plays because of teleportation. But when you have a Slark hunting him down, when you have the Blink lasso grabbing him and then being killed off by a Timbersaw, suddenly you're losing a huge element of that hero. And a lot of times I was looking at the wards on Team Falcons, and they constantly had deep wards up. So maybe Tundra in that break, this is where the coach comes in. He's like, hey guys, you got to check these warding spots, right? You got to be looking for this, protect the natures a little bit better if they go back for it. But I think it was just very well done from Falcons in regards to dealing with that natures.
100%. And I think right now with the draft being a little bit different this time around, it's going to be first pick for Falcons. We'll see the Doom actually getting banned by Tundra, the Tinker as well. There's still the Omni Knight, which you have to consider, but they actually get rid of the Morphling and the Nature's Prophet on Falcons. I'm not that surprised at this point. They have not looked like a team that has had a lot of success playing the Nature's Prophet. It's not like a player issue. I think it's more of, it just hasn't fit their style as much. And so I like just I like the idea of just banning it here, picking some, and going back to like the drafts that they find more success on. They get the Naga Siren ban here, not wanting to give that one over, of course.
And notably, Tundra has stolen away that last pick that we said Falcons likes to go for.
5 seconds remaining.
So that means some of your cheesing potential, right? Like that last pick Slark, that's now out of the window. And they're going to open up by stealing the Omni, something that Tundra has liked a lot, but actually a lot of teams like, because Omni got a variety of changes that have brought him back into being a pretty good support. And I want to throw out, he's particularly good when you have someone who can stand behind and just boost up. Someone like a Huskar that Falcons loves to play.
We'll bring some attention to this Lina in just a moment. That is a sick pick, but for right now, if you guys are trying to get all of the information in these match, the stats, the odds, the promotions, it's all going to be inside of the 1xBet app. Make sure to check the link below, like in chat, as well as in the banner down below. I will say the Lina pick is something we haven't seen a ton, but it is squeaked through a few drafts. I think yesterday, the upper bracket finals, it wasn't even touched at all, right? Actually, it might have gotten banned in one, like in game 2, but it was like the very last phase, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but it finally comes out here. I don't think you and I have covered a Lina game this whole event, have we?
That might be true. It's at 97% contested rate, and it's only got 7 picks because it's almost always banned out. Like you said, Spirit versus Falcons, it went mostly ignored, but Tundra is not a team that has been ignoring it. And it's usually just banned in their series, but they see it and they want it. And I think it makes sense. It's just such a strong hero right now. A lot of good matchups, or at least neutral matchups that you don't really lose, especially in that mid lane. You just, okay, you're trying to counter me, I'll just shove out the waves and I'll go jungle, right? And I'll scale up. It's just been a really powerful hero. The combustion change to her innate ability just gives her so much extra farming speed and damage. I'm excited to see it because we just never get to, because it's always banned. I will say at least Omni Repel is going to be quite good if you can if you know what hero she's trying to focus, and you can put that repel down first, but you also have a lot of burst heal to try to counter her burst damage, as well as the classic Guardian Angel to prevent some auto attack damage from Lina, who is just sitting in the back, rapid fire, launching attacks in these fights.
I wonder. Yeah, I will say I am curious what they're gonna go ahead and ban and then pick going into this, because obviously, like with the Lina being so flexible, specifically this patch, but I imagine Falcons have a plan for this, because they play this hero a lot. They have the Omni Knights already, which is quite good. I just don't know, like, if it's worth playing Lina anywhere outside of the carry role, because like she's so good as a carry that it's almost like kind of a grief to not just run her as the one position. They just go straight for the Ramses Mars. This is a little bit of a deny pick though, because it's so good against the Lina. Like, this is like one of the worst heroes for the Lina matchup. She does not like to build an early BKB. She wants to be greedy, go things like Gleipnir, Boots of Travel, and Mars just can eliminate her from the fight with the arena. I like this a lot. This is a really cool, a little bit of an interesting, like, 2-hero opener, right? You don't really see a Lina Mars right away, but it makes sense, you know, being able to protect the Lina.
I think so, though. I will say the Omni Knight, at least in the lane, you can always push him away, so like that's fine. But the fact that he has repel does mean it's kind of a get out of arena for free ability. It's got a long cooldown, so got to be careful how you use it, but that does make the Mars just a little bit more annoying to play. However, it has been something that Ramses has been playing, and we already see his Doom and his Sand King taken out. Even Kunkka, we saw him play an offlane Kunkka. So one of the few heroes left that he seems to have been focusing on lately, and it'll do what it needs to, even for everything I just said, right? It's Mars. He will arena someone, he'll spear someone. And that seems to be what they want out of Ramses. Just very consistent initiation.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
I like the Slardar a lot. This is a hero that can absolutely gap close and get on top of the Lina. She just gets constantly bashed, which is really sick.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a cool adjustment.
Yeah, she's not a... If you do run her carry, like you mentioned, you might be interested in doing. She's an intelligence hero, so her armor is not that great. She will get wrecked by the negative armor from Slardar and a little bit from the Snapfire as well.
And now they bring the Sven into the mix, so Warcry is quite good. If I'm Falcons here, I think you actually double down on minus armor in this game. I know we haven't seen a lot of Shadow Fiend or Templar Assassin, but when you have a game like this, I think you can do it. Or just like a very high physical damage carry. So you could go for the Mirana, sit it with the Omni Knight, and then, you know, you're pretty happy about that. She kind of suffers from the same problems as the Lina against heroes like Mars. But I would say get yourself a high physical damage carry that benefits really well with the Slardar. The Mirana's gotta be the #1, in my opinion. It's so much burst damage.
You can maybe try to steal it away if you wanted to. Ooh, they're going to go for the Leshrac. So flex value entering here. There could be a mid Leshrac, but we've seen support Leshrac as well with the Misanthropy facet, just doing so much damage in the side lanes. And you have a melee Omni Knight, right? He's kind of fast, but so is Leshrac. Leshrac can keep up with him. And just by having to be so close to heroes to harass as the Omni Knight, it opens you up to just being run down with Diabolic Edict. So he's going to have to be really careful, assuming this ends up being potentially a position 4 Leshrac. We've actually also seen position 5 Leshrac, so could have a harder time for Snapfire, but if this ends up being the Slardar offlane, Timber offlane, they're melee heroes that you could potentially run down with the Edict.
Kita dengerin dulu aja guys.
I like the Timbersaw again. I'm guessing this is going to be Malreen's hero, looking at the heroes already, right? So just the Timbersaw mid. Now the real question is, do you want to put the Lina there and maybe run a Lina mid with the 4 Lesh and then pick yourself like a new carry, or do you just pick like a new mid laner that might be able to deal with the Timbersaw, right? So they ban out the puck. Is there another Thompson hero here that I'm missing? I mean, surely yes, because he has so many. But
Yeah, I know, right?
10 seconds remaining.
what are you worried about as a Timbersaw? Monkey King maybe?
5 seconds remaining.
The lane is tough, but after that, I think you're okay because you have Timber Chain to get out of the Wukongs, and you can break trees. I'm not sure if you want to do that.
Synergizes really well with their team is the only thing, right? Like Mars Arena, Lash.
But there's also Omni, Guardian Angel being AoE, I think,
Yeah,
makes it a little difficult.
I forgot about that change.
Yeah, that's a good one, I think, for a big reason why Omni is getting popular again.
Wind Ranger ban, that one's good. I still think you kind of got to consider something like the Mirana for the carry.
Remaining.
I think so. It doesn't have the best setups, but
5 seconds remaining.
She just kills
It's still
whatever
scary.
target Slardar puts corrosive haze
yeah,
on.
that solar
You're right.
flare with that jump would be really good. Less synergy than other drafts, though. Like we saw in that last game, they tried to pick a lot of right-clicking heroes. This time you have mainly the Slardar. The others don't care that much. Who else could you grab?
Radiant team back.
Gyro could have been cool. He would also be a hero that Omni just stands behind and boosts up.
Just generally puts in damage as well outside of Arena, right? Call down's quite good. He's great movement speed, can just chase in.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like where you can go with this. They have no answer to this Omni, and it's kind of an interesting idea from Tundra. It seems like their game plan is kind of just ignore the Omni Knight because I really don't know what their answer is going to be at the moment to this hero. Like you have a little bit of pure damage from Lesh's Diabolic Edict, but
Kenapa nggak Shadow Demon gitu?
there's not like an easy nullifier builder. Like Lina is not a hero that can really play around nullifier because she's super long range. Okay, they just go back for the Weaver. Okay, similar to what I was saying, like a
Negative
minus
armor.
armor hero works well with them, and it's a lot of high physical damage. I think we might see him go for an early Daedalus here. It's gonna do so much work in these fights if he can get it.
Yeah, though the risk of that is getting burst by Lina. So if he wants to push it off for like one or two defensive items, I would think that would make
Monkey
sense.
King.
Okay, he does decide to go for that Monkey
Let's
King like he
go.
called.
Let's go.
It will do well in the lane,
Topias.
which is
Yeah.
pretty
You're a
important to
hero,
do versus
bro.
Malring. And we've seen him win his lanes and then just
Akhirnya kita
destroy
ngeliat
the
Thompson
game. So
MK lagi.
maybe addressing him earlier is something you need to look for.
Mudah-mudahan dia nggak nge-throw, bros.
I think just generally it
Just
is
pick
good
MK,
enough in
bro.
the lane,
This is
but
your
it's
hero.
also one of those things
Just pick
where
MK.
when Wukong's command is available
What the fuck?
and you have Arena, like there's no escaping the Arena Wukong's combinations. Like that's pretty
Just pick
good.
MK, bro.
And
That's
he
your
might
hero,
be able
man.
to scout Snake.
Just pick
I
it.
think that's gonna be the biggest thing in this game to look
Dari
out for. is
tadi
whether or not
dong,
Thompson can
anjing.
actually find
Padahal nggak
Snake
di-ban
on
tadi
Zombie
ban
Knight,
game pertama,
jump through
anjing.
the trees, get like the boundless strike initiation.
Pakai itu aja
That
ngentot.
would be huge.
Nggak usah pakai yang lain, anjing.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be Ramses on the offlane Mars, of course. Whitemon taking the Sven. Leshrac. for the
Anjing,
fourth
bednya aja
position
4,
for nine
ngehe.
class. We'll go the Misanthropy.
Kayak orang-orang nggak yakin gitu Tundra menang ngetot.
We've seen
Tapi
quite a
menurut
bit,
gue
right?
Tundra strong,
It's
anjing.
just kind of become
Kayak mainnya tuh
the
menurut gue lagi
go-to
bagus-bagusnya,
facet
bro.
for the fourth
Tundra
position.
tuh.
Yeah, I think
Apa gara-gara
you don't do
turnamen
enough
kecil kayak
farming for the other
tim-timnya
one to
pada
really
nggak
pay
peduli ya,
off.
gue
You're
nggak tahu
looking
sih.
for the very aggressive plays.
Cuman it's
which
good
this
practice
is
for
gonna
them,
be.
you know. Kayak
I'm
it's
not
good
sure
fucking
which strat I
practice.
like more. It's you have Sven, which is pretty much the best support you could pick versus
Slow
the
down.
physical damage, minus armor type lineups. So you've got that going for you on Tundra. You have the Lina, who many would consider extremely broken right now.
Di sini problemnya
You have a
menurut gue
lot
gue
of
dan
comfort
Angel.
picks for Falcons.
Gak nyom.
That's
Yang
the thing
hubung
that like,
kenapa
kind of worries me is like it's a lot of comfort picks for Falcons.
Eventnya nggak
I
diganti Shadow
still
Demon gitu.
think the Lina carry is strong enough to win this game.
Bagus
The
banget Jing nih
big
SD di game
question
ini.
is gonna be whether or not
Gue dan
Amar
Angel
and
jadi nggak guna
Maureen
gitu.
can
Rappel
just
juga
take
nggak
her out
guna.
in fights.
Wah ngentot.
Because
nih.
there's not really a save on Tundra if
Mati gue juga.
the offlane Slardart gets on top
Alas,
of her,
dia nggak kena
especially
ban,
with
bro.
Timbersaw, they can kill it. So we'll see what happens. We're jumping into game number 2 here, everybody, of Falcons versus Tundra. This is the lower bracket finals. One team will advance to the grand finals to play up against Team Spirit. The other one will be out in 3rd place.
Let's go.
See any last second changes? Doesn't look like it.
Habis damage dan to enemies battling the kills him.
Snapfire with the full bore. A little more common nowadays than after Little Shredder got all its nerfs. I think it'll also be quite nice with the Slardar, because you can full bore slow from far,
Niat
cookie
banget
him
itu tadi
in,
serang
and that could be your way to play
pakai
aggressive
distance
on the
segala
Selena in the
anjing.
laning stage.
Kayak
And
mati
then
ya
runner down from there, like you
ngentot.
mentioned. She can't really get away outside
Balik
of
dong
landing
dia.
an LSA.
Gak balik ya?
But
Yeah.
Slardar will have, after a couple
Apa
levels
nggak
up,
balik,
Guardian
Jing?
Sprint, and it might be a little tricky to land the ability on him.
Tapi bisa balik Jing itu menurut gue Malrin.
Lane positioning is going to be key in that
Mhm.
one. Like
think
if
so.
the lane
Jangan
is
takut,
not
jangan
near the
takut.
dire
Menurut gua
tower,
Lestrak
this
strong
lane
habis.
is not allowed to play in the lane. Snake King about to take
Nice.
400 pure damage to the face.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sampain.
that should just
Ah.
be first blood.
Ya elah.
Dude, Misanthropy is crazy.
There's no way you want to take like a level 1 repel to avoid that damage. So, all right, good pickup for.
Mantap son, let's go bro.
For Tundra.
So you're fucking
Am I wrong? Is it not? It is actually
Skill.
400 pure damage
I don't
for
know.
one, right?
So
Yeah,
show
yeah,
shit.
It's a lot, and that's why
Dua,
you gotta be really
tiga.
careful where you stand, and why against melee heroes, Leshrac usually does quite well.
It's like I said that number and I was like, is that,
Dapat
am I
trans
wrong?
Gambarnya.
That sounds like more than it should be, but no, it actually is just 400 pure damage.
It's why
Anjing,
this
gua
facet
tim sama-sama di
works,
kanan
because
gini.
usually it's over 9
10
seconds,
seconds.
or 10 seconds.
Kayak
Yeah, from
dulunya
10
kayak yakin
so
menang
it's
gitu lah
hard
dia
to get the full
ngentot
damage,
gitu.
But when it's condensed to 6 damage, it's much easier to get a lot in. Like even if you don't get the full edict, right? You get half duration, 3 seconds next to a hero, 200 damage.
Tapi gue suka di
is
sini
still,
Lina
some
pick.
of the best
Gue
damage
suka
you
banget.
get for a level 1 spell.
Walaupun ada selalu,
Yeah.
tapi kayaknya nggak ngaruh sih.
Oh,
Lina
you get the
strong
full
abis.
6-second duration.
Lina strong abis guys.
That
Tapi
disco
menurut gue tuh nggak
pony
ngaruh
is
sama
dancing
sekali.
his way to victory.
For reference, Skitter on the Weaver has 582 health. So if you were to spear stun him into a Diabolic's Edict, there's a very high chance he dies.
Radiant's turret has been killed.
Ini
You'll hate to
anjing
see
di
it.
kill ngentot.
Marine actually
Oh,
losing his
karena
courier.
MK-nya
That's
Gimana goalnya
surprising
Thompson,
for a mid
anjing.
lane.
Looks like he was maybe walking through the river. Monkey King with his long
Ih,
range
ngentot,
grabs
kenapa
it
lagi?
easily.
Didn't see the mischief, I'm sure, running around. Oh, Snake King.
Ya
Uh-oh,
Tuhan.
not again. The spear catches him. Skitter's going to try and soak some of the damage, and it works, but the Lightning Storm comes out anyway. Really good positioning
Gue
from
kira nggak kena
Nine
Jing
Class on the
spearnya
last
Jing,
year.
tapi nice. Oke,
That's exactly the combo we
Thompson,
were talking about, right? The spear
Topias.
stun away from creeps to make sure you're landing. Edict
Santai.
on just the hero. All that damage comes in. That even a
Atasnya
tanky
juga
hero like
kayaknya-
Omni Knight with
Is it
heals
win? Oh,
cannot
it's
deal
not.
with.
It's not
And
even
good
win.
step back as well.
Si
Because
Chill,
Omni
tapi
did take
menang
healing
jauh.
hammer, so he'll get some extra healing if he hits you with that
Harusnya.
purification. Maybe that keeps him alive.
Tas. Gebuk dulu dong sekali.
Thompson doing
Bisa dong itu
okay
digebuk.
in the mid lane. I kind of expect
Gebuk
it to be a
dong.
little bit
Oh,
better,
ngentot,
but
tinggal
Marine
sama
actually has
dia.
a lot of CS here.
Gebuk dong, what the
I
fuck?
would have
Kok nggak digebuk
expected
sih?
Monkey to have a little bit more denies, right? Especially now that Timbersaw is not universal. Like, he doesn't have the damage gain that he used to have. So, surprising. And just a really good performance from Maureen again on this Timbersaw.
That's true, but Whirling Death is also just very good versus Monkey King, so it does
Yeah.
help you get through it. But
Tas.
he is starting to run out of
Tas.
mana, which might start tipping it
Tas.
into Thompson's favor to pick up those denies you were talking about.
Tuh.
Can't really contest the the Lotuses. Oh, actually, I was gonna say that. I think he got the Lotus on Skitter. Did he?
Looks like it, yeah. And it has 10 stick charges, so that'll help keep him alive versus that Edict combo we were talking about,
Very nice.
which is about to nearly double in value as he hits level 3. So you gotta
Tuh.
be extra careful.
2, 3, 4, Nice.
Arian manages to get himself the water rune. He's gonna head over to the over to the bounty room, but he's gonna find the monkey king courier. Oh, it gets delivered just in time.
Anjing. Yang nge-caster kagak ada suara bangsat. Ngaco anjing ini. Nice. Itu dia.
What a boundless strike.
Nice.
Huge setup there. 9 class
Itu
getting
bagus
his
banget,
third
Jing.
kill of the game.
Itu
on
pakai
the slash.
timber chain
A
distant
really
shot.
good idea to rotate. You're already doing fine in these side lanes. Continue to shut down this timber saw. Like this is we saw after last game. He is such a tempo hero for this side of Falcons.
And Lesh picking up these kills, he's a great hero to be greedy
Aku
with. I mean,
ngapain
he's
sih
usually a mid
ngentot?
hero, right? So he scales really well, and part of the reason he
Dia
connects
bisa
on the
lagi
kills is
bingung
he
gitu
has a
Jing
really
di kanan-kanan
really quick
ngehe
ways.
ngehe.
Now he's getting to having some mana issues. He's gonna have arcanes. He's gonna pick up a kill down here, maybe? Okay, a lot of burst healing coming out.
Ini yang gue bilang nih.
Keep him alive. But Lina in top lane.
Yeah, the lane positioning,
Bisa di
like we
situ,
said,
Jing. Dia
that's what
mesti tadi
matters
ngentot.
most here. The cookie into the Slardar.
Macet anjing jalan ngehe.
Follow-up is so good, and they finally managed to take down this carry Lina.
Dota tuh kayak 1 hit 2 hit tuh penting guys. Kayak 1 detik 2 detik tuh buat pemain Dota
class.
penting Jing itu.
Nice. God's rebuke there from Ramses.
Tadi kayak dia jalan-jalan gak jelas ngapain coba. Kayak gak punya. Wah mati gak sih Jing?
Trying to pull the lane. Whitemon salved up. He should be able to finish this kill off. Crit trying to offer some assistance. Doesn't really get to, but it's a big wrap around top, and instead, Pure
Wah mantap.
will tick down. He doesn't even get the kill on the Snake King first, so a lot of missed XP and a really good rotation from the safe lane up here.
Whitemon's trying to just hang in the air to at least get that XP, but being zoned off from any last hits by MR.
Pure mati lagi Jing.
Well, Shrek is coming in. Stun is out. The Edict is there. Nice stun from the Crush, but can
Sprint, bro,
Whitemon body
itu.
block him? No. Guardian Sprint is just going to get him to safety. He's got
Kayak
11
Facebook
wall
ya
charges,
sprintnya
so he's
ternyata ya.
fine.
Lewatin lawan gitu.
You're so fast with Guardian Sprint, especially as you enter the water. Dragon creeps all the way back here too,
Wah,
which means he
ngentot.
can
Mati
still
dong.
farm while he just slowly heals up.
Jangan Thompson. Lu di skill 2 skill 1 mati nih.
Monkey King make a move yet. Simeon Stride is usually why this hero
udah Jing.
is so popular. You have a decent,
Nah,
usually have
Jing,
at least a
Jing.
decent time in the laning stage, if not crush it, and then rotate around.
Nice.
Maybe the action's coming to
Crap.
him.
Nice one.
Dude, this is just so easy for them to do. Like, they just have like a Sven stun and then one other, like, and then Edict might be enough
He's
to just
done.
kill the heroes.
Let's
or
go, bro.
Monkey King rotates, and they just have a Boundless Strike as well.
Trying to rotate in heroes for this Wisdom Rune, just not fast enough. The stun from Mar gonna keep them away. Mallory
Okay.
Invis here.
They're
Stun
gonna do a
doesn't connect.
lot of damage back the other way. The Edict split between two, but Thompson does manage to get the Jingu stacks rolling. And I don't know if you want to fight this anymore
okay.
on Falcons.
Masih oke guys. Ya,
Maybe that stun connects.
Spear
and
nggak
you
sih?
Finish off the Leshrac.
Nice juke bottom here from Ramses. We'll get the spear. It does manage to get right on top of
Ngentot
Snake
bisa
King. Boundless
nge-stun
strike in
begitu,
from Thompson. Whitemon coming in
Oke,
as
nice.
well. Will secure the kill, of course, with the
Gua ngomong cuma
Stormhammer.
nice doang aja. Tapi emang nice guys. Daripada nggak dapat sama sekali nggak sih? Bener nggak?
Last game is the one with the natures where I thought we'd see
Wah,
more of
wah.
these rotations.
Wah.
Oh, they see Skitter with that ward.
Yeah,
Nice
very
one.
good place. Whitemon just dropped him here, and yeah, ward central
Nice
out
lagi.
instant arena.
Lu cuma caster modal nice doang aja. Nice lagi.
Trying to be safe. I think
Tapi
maybe
kita
even
nggak
wait
ngegas,
for
guys.
a
Sebenarnya
stack
kita
of
nonton
small
bareng
camp
ya.
or something. They're gonna get the instant D ward at least. Now look
Mati,
at
Jing, itu.
Malrine, but I think he should be okay as he
What the
super
fuck?
chains up here.
He got the
Pakai sih tadi
invis,
stunnya.
or the regen as well on the bottle, which
Bonus
I don't know
striking.
how.
Kamu
'Cause
kalau
he
nggak
got
dipakai
Boundless
tuh
Strike
mati
and
harusnya.
still managed to click the rune in time.
Kayak tadi gitu di pas Timber skill 2
They
dia
might have
dikasih
accidentally
tak.
clicked the Timber Saw instead of picking up the
Mati.
rune. That happens with some of these heroes when they're
Obvious.
positioned right over.
Pemain YOLO nih anjing. Tapi emang nggak mati sih. Masih jauh anjing dari kematian. Oke lah. Kuning mati harusnya kuning. Kuning, 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 tai.
Very nice
Kuning,
grab.
kuning.
Amar, though, does
Wah,
a
ngentot
lot of
kalau nggak mati
damage
mendingan
if he can
pensi
get
anjing
some
nih
help
3
from
orang
his team. Not
ngentot,
gonna get that,
ngentot.
though. There's just too
Ini
many
nggak usah main
heroes,
jing,
let
nggak
it
usah
go.
main lagi.
So they managed to
Kuning, kuning, tai
find themselves
mati
another kill on the
juga.
Slardar crit, trying to double stack the triangle here. It looks like it will be successful. Lightmon's gonna scout these out, drop a sentry, a ward onto the high ground, is like, oh, hello there. 9 class, in some trouble. Bound the strike Stormhammer again, ran down by the edict. Rinse and repeat.
Ini
How
wardnya
many
bagus banget
times
sih,
have we
ngentot
seen
dari tadi
this?
wardnya kayak
Gotta be a
bosen.
little bit careful. Malrine is quite strong, but Thompson actually just burning through him.
Bro,
9
bro,
class
bro.
gets the
Bro,
deny
bro,
off
ini
to the
pusing nih.
neutral cam.
Ini mau kayak gimana bro, mainnya bro?
Thompson will get another set of Jingu stacks here, trying to run away as a
Nice!
teleport scroll, and they just did not
Nice!
see him.
Ini
They
Thompson,
completely
anjing.
lost
Thompson
track
MK,
of the
what
Monkey
the
King,
fuck? Nice
and now
one.
they get the
Let's go.
Slardar as well.
Let's
Dude,
go
that
habis.
mischief just completely mind flayed them.
Kayak orang bingung
Into
anjing
being
berdua
double
ngentot.
killed as well. Thompson
Let's
having
go,
much
bro.
more impact to start off this game with that Monkey King pick. A little bit slow in the lane, but
Ini nih.
now
I'm go-
fully
ini.
online,
Wait,
showing
wait.
up to these fights.
Wah ngentot anjing,
Lightmon's just
anjing.
gonna deny.
They have
Yeah.
it.
I
Ngaco
think he
jing
just
tuh
wanted
orang
a
main
free trip back to
ngehi
base,
ngehi.
right?
Emang mau mati kali
I
dia
mean,
guys.
he
Kita
already
positive thinking
lived
aja
longer
bro.
than he thought versus that
Emang dia
Slardar.
mau mati kali.
Dude, Thompson got like the literal best mischief.
Wah nice.
Wow, that was so close.
Nice,
He got the
what?
best mischief item he could have gotten. It was the TP scroll, dude. It was the same color as the ground. It was like almost invisible. Oh my god, very good. Real quick, everybody, there is a quick reminder to go ahead and join
Nice.
the game today with 1xbet.
Gila
Make
ini
sure to
MK
check out
mana
the
jing yang mainin
message
kayak
in the
gitu
chat.
ngetot, ngetot. MK mana bro?
Finding kills on crit and then stealing the stacks as well that crit made. It's been
Tapi
really
tadi
good for them.
ngomong-ngomong
He's still
MK-nya
not level
emang gak
6,
kelihatan
and
ya.
his
Gue juga tadi kayak
ultimate
nggak
is
ngeliat
a
jing tiba-tiba dia
big
bisa
source of
skill
damage,
1
help them pick up
ngentot.
some early kills to get
What
back
the
into
fuck?
this. They're still waiting on it
Kayaknya
though.
dia nyamper jadi pohon sih tadi
Yeah, they
harusnya.
see him farming that small camp. But a stun from Amar,
Rata
who is
ini
working
atas.
on a blink. Right, this
5
is
aja.
the way they can start grabbing a few
Lumayan
kills
dong.
to get back into this game. They're not
They
there
saw
yet.
Malrine. He went up onto the trees, was about to boundless strike. It was like, nope, there's Timbersaw there, guys.
Never mind.
Back out. We're being baited.
And this is the part of the matchup that's good for Timber. Anytime you're near trees, you're rethinking your choices on the Monkey King.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, they're still comfortable just standing here looking for an opening, and they're gonna look for Amar, boundless strike, plus now the Stormhammer. In comes 9 class. They actually don't manage
Kenapa
to
sih
chase
lightning
any
stormnya bisa
further.
ke creep dulu
I'm
gitu ngentot
surprised though
ngentot.
because they actually see some heroes on the other side of the map. Spear out from Rams. He's trying to get away from this Weaver. Easier said than done though. As Mortimer Kisses are committed to try and secure this one, and it should be enough.
Kenapa bisa ke creep dulu sih lightning stormnya?
Reed
Last
ends up
rock anjing
dying in
anjing.
mid. Wow, okay. That ward pays off.
Lightning
then.
storm aja gitu
Fine.
setelah dari ngentot kebanyakan mikir anjing main ngehi. Jangan kebanyakan mikir bro, main mah santai. Itu dia tas.
Bugged.
3, 4, tang.
Oh, no, I got it. Okay, yeah, about half of that being from the Leshrac.
Suka banget gue main MK anjing.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, they get the mid
Temu
tier 1
satu orang,
tower.
satu-satu
Pops it with
mati.
a haste rune, secures another kill onto Snake King. You have yourself a 5,000 gold lead here, just at the 12.5 minute mark.
This is Thompson
And
MK
a
bro.
defusal is
What
now
can you
done on
do?
the Monkey King.
Just pick him
That's
that
why you see
shit.
Monkey King ban first phase versus Tundra quite often. It fits exactly the style Thompson likes. It's the chaos, it's the early fighting. He's going around as, you know, bounty
Iya,
runes.
Jing, ini
Mischief
benar-benar
is
tipe
exactly
permainan dia
what
nih,
this guy
ngentot.
loves to play with.
Wah, anjing itu repo anjing.
Alright, I mean, they drop a
Safe for
lot
Snake
here. Yeah, they drop a lot here to try and grab Malrine, but Snake King nearby, gonna be just fine.
The supports from Falcons having a rough time to start, but you do see a little bit of the value there, right? How Repel is going to be very useful later on, Guardian Angel as well.
Emang
against
ini
the
Thompson
Monkey
MK
King,
ya,
but
emang
they're
hero-nya
still
dia bro.
very
Bro.
much on the back foot right now.
Hmm. Oke.
Ooh, the arena He'll be able to
Just
find
okay, pick up.
Snaking Spear back. Gonna let 9 class finish
Stun.
that one up as they're turning their attention on
Aduh,
over to
bisa double
Amar. The
gitu, bro.
Boundless Strike plus the inhibit
Jangan
from
dong,
that defusal
harusnya.
makes it
Full
hard
fair
to, for him to get away. He's gonna try his best.
Ngentot. Jadi kayak
There's
susah
just
gitu diambil anjing.
too much chase
Tapi
from
nice.
these heroes. 2 more kills go their way, and
Anjing.
the lead
Tiba-tiba di tip gitu sih
continuing
ngeselin sih
to
guys,
grow.
anjing. Kayak tiba-tiba kesel gitu, ngentot
He just
kenapa
had a
gue
very
di tip sih
quiet
anjing.
game. She just gets to farm. The rest of her team
Gara-gara
just
temen gue mati
nonstop
ngentot
running
kayak
at
salah
them.
gue gitu jadi ibaratnya.
So letting Lena reach the top of this net worth and keep going. She's almost got her Gleipnir, so she could be ready to join in here.
That was a nice move from Skitter to take away the Wisdom Rune there, but it's like that's like a very small victory, right? Considering the state of this game, right? They are so farmed on the Tricore of Tundra, but also the Lash, dude. Oh my god.
Ayo Skitter.
He's
Kepancing
about
dong,
to be the
Skitter.
4th most farmed hero in the game.
Pancing dong lu.
His,
Cerot!
in case you lost track of it throughout this, he is 7-1-5. He has a
Well,
lot
ooh.
of kills to his name and another courier as well. He really wants that 4th spot.
Pure definitely had Gleipnir and Vision of the Weaver there, but was farming the wave instead. So
Apa nih tiba-tiba
Skitter manages to escape
gua
that
GS
gank.
anjing. Kayak
And
komunikasinya
bottom
nggak ada
lane
gitu bro.
Fortification's gonna delay this push a little bit.
Well, this is the downside of leaning into a negative armor strat. When you're
Coba
ahead,
tuh kuning
it
tuh.
works really well. When you're
Mars ya,
behind,
wah ngentot
the enemy
nih
team
Marsnya
just
anjing.
picks up armor
Thrower
items
babi.
and
Gak ada lagi spearnya.
And we've got a Solar Crest finished on 9 class already
Oh,
because
anjing.
he's so rich. You have
Ini nggak mati,
Sven,
bro.
who has max war
Nice,
drive.
itu dia.
Skitter is he gonna die without time lapse?
Nice
Barely
save
in
from the
time.
Omni Knight and Ramses. He gets the arena out, but they managed to just finish him off first. Pure gonna sit on the other side of the wall, and with
Nice.
Skitter being trapped as well,
Let's
he
go!
is super dead. Not just regular dead, super dead.
That's worse
3
than
for
being
1.
dead.
Ini kayak game tadi nih anjing menang di awal doang. Ntar kalah nih di akhir nih ngentot, jangan kayak gitu dong.
Is there a window where this gets easier? They're currently running you at your tier 3.
Wah
No,
ngentot,
they
ini
don't have to
permainan
stop. They
Ogi
can
nih
just
anjing.
keep chasing.
Permainan Ogi zaman
Arena, I don't
2018
think
nih
he can
guys.
survive this either. He has to just back away. Timber Chain doing some work. Thompson gonna
Wah,
sit
ngentot,
close
kalau
enough
mati
to
sih itu
crit
nggak
to try
lucu
and
sih.
minimize the damage from the Mortimer
Wah,
Kisses, but
anjing,
Marine will
mati
finish the
semua
job, and Amar's coming. He gets the Lesh. This is a massive
dong,
gold bounty. 828 gold for Amar.
Very much needed.
Yeah, 2 kills worth 2,050 gold. That is very nice. They got the tier 2 though, but yeah, that's a little overconfidence, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, a little too far on that. Diving in Omni
Iya,
Knight.
itu
I mean, they
jauh
did
banget,
kill that
Jing.
Omni Knight, but
Makanya
Yeah.
cuma
take
dapet
a little
omni gitu.
longer
Kalau
because
dapet
of
timber mah
what
oke lah.
that hero is, and it baits them in a little bit. Still got a
Tapi
7K
it's
lead,
like
so
OJ
you're
move,
feeling
you know?
comfortable. For
Like OG move.
Falcons, let's see, what can you spend this money on, right? That was so much money.
Sumpah waktu 2018
You've got
ya guys
the
ya.
blink
Waktu
on
OG itu
Slardar.
menang
It
TI,
looks like
anjing
that's
gua
just
sama
over
sekali nggak dukung bro.
But maybe
Waktu
with
menang
that
TI kedua
blink,
juga gua nggak
Snake
dukung
ain't
sih.
getting picked off again. At this point, I
I
don't
don't
know
know,
how
bro,
big of
I
a
just
deal
hate
that is
them, you know?
anymore.
Kayak not a fan of OG
The
gitu.
blink on Slardar, wait for the cooldown on Mortimer's kisses.
Tapi pas kalau nginget lagi di True Sight ya anjing
Find
itu
some-
bener kayak
some
OG
more
move.
kills. You kind of have to. It's not like
Ya
a
tiba-tiba
maybe.
maju ke tower
You need to
3.
start finding more pickoffs to get back into this.
Padahal tower
9K
1 masih
bounty.
ada, ngentot itu
Maybe
like
off of a good
OG
kill.
move bro.
Roche is pretty easy for you as well. That could be a nice little chain combo.
Tapi
in
udah
the
nggak
mix.
ada jing yang kayak gitu mainnya. Gue juga nggak ngerti kenapa.
Top
Hey,
lane, they see them under
gua
this
nggak tahu sih itu
board.
kayak YOLO atau
Amar.
apa sebenarnya.
Ooh, he actually gets the blink out
Aku
onto
udah-
the Lita, but he is so far by himself.
Kok
The
nggak lakuin
spear
lebih awal
back
sih?
into the Laguna blade. It was
ada facet
almost
itu,
a
anjing.
really good
Kenapa
escape
nggak
from
lakuin dari awal
Amar,
bro?
but
Wah,
unfortunately walks into the
nggak
hands of
ngerti. Ini
Pure.
kayaknya pure anjing.
And with that, they get
Kayaknya
themselves
pure nggak
for
ngerti
shot.
main jing.
So there goes that window for
Yeah.
Falcons. And
Yeah,
the
they
way to
really needed
recover
this.
is just getting smaller and smaller. And it's really tricky versus a Monkey King, right? Falcons usually a team that's really good at playing the
Kayaknya ada di
map.
mana tuh?
their heroes are not
MK-nya
the
juga Rosen. Gue kira
greatest
MK-nya
at
yang
it,
biru muda
but
anjing.
also you never know if
Tiba-tiba ada
Thompson
di
is just
bawah sih
sitting in the
ngintut
trees
sendirian,
watching
mati
you
lagi,
getting ready to
anjing,
Wukong as
anjing
soon as
bener-bener.
one of his teammates TP's in.
Kayak
So
Thompson
playing the
bener-bener
map is going to be very difficult for them.
just fucking
Oh,
pensi
absolutely.
anjing. Coba kalau ini kalah ya ngentot pensiun aja lah,
He's on
ngentot
top as
5-5-nya
well.
anjing, bener gak usah main lagi
Kind of
anjing.
suggesting to me that they're
Kayak langsung
still going to
uninstall,
just
bro.
embrace this chaos, not interested in trying to take all these towers and hit the high ground, because otherwise I think you give it to Lina to let her just hit the towers from afar, and if they jump her, she has the second life.
Lompat dong,
She might
anjing, kalau
still just
gue
be like,
lompat.
I'm just gonna keep farming my items, guys. So how about you guys go fight with the
Karena kan
Aegis?
gua
I'm
ngeliat
not
kan.
really interested in that.
Kalau gue sih udah pasti
I was
lompat
like, yes,
jadinya.
I love fighting. Give it to me.
Yeah, I actually agree. I don't think they want to.
Thompson pokoknya kalau dia nggak terlalu lagi gue report anjing sama timnya babi baby.
Like the high ground from Falcons is
Wah, ngentot Thompson
rough,
nih,
right?
beban
If
Tundra,
you
anjing.
get blink crushed into,
Kalau dia
you
yang
know,
bikin
like
kalah
mortar
lagi
kisses,
nih.
there's a good chance you're gonna
Tapi so
die
far sejauh ini
unless
Thompson
you,
mainnya
like,
bagus guys,
your
bagus
BKB
banget.
get away. But
Gue mah orangnya fair jing. Kalau gue bilang bagus
they do have
bagus,
a
kalau gue bilang
pretty
jelek jelek
substantial
anjing.
lead, 9,000 gold here.
Tapi ini
The
dalam
majority of
perspektif
this
gue
is
ya.
just the Lina now being like 4,000 gold above the next.
Jadi kalau menurut perspektif orang bagus ya nggak
above,
apa-apa.
like, her
Tapi kan ini kan
opponents, and then,
buat
of course, the
buat
Lestrat
gue aja
with a
gitu.
pretty sizable
Menurutku
lead
mainnya
on the
jelek
support
aja.
side.
Tadi tuh
This is
Thompson mainnya jelek
pre-Tormentor
jelek
too, which
banget.
they might be
Ngentot
able to
itu
just steal
kayak lu
this,
di
we'll
solo
see.
kill struck anjing 2 kali
It looks like his tier
ngentot
2
ngentot
towers
beneran
falling,
gak
so
usah
they're
main
not gonna
gak sih
have
lu?
that help you defend. They're trying to steal the Tormentor actually because they know they can't go get their own.
Ngentot mau steal
Yeah, they are.
Tormentor anjing.
9 class hits them with the dust. They are actually here on only 2 heroes. They don't quite know that. Maybe otherwise they'd feel confident going for 9 class on this Lestrat. Which they are going to go for it. The Blink, the Crush does a lot of damage.
Trot.
When Wukong comes
Stun.
out,
Trot.
they get on top of the Weaver. Save for the
Mat,
moment. Can he get the
nice.
ult?
Itu
He
dia.
doesn't. Oh my
Rata dong ini
goodness.
semua.
The damage from the
Yes.
Monkey King is
Double arena.
overwhelming, and the double arena on the other side is caught Amara. It's caught snaking. They're just gonna TP out on them.
Itu dia,
No,
anjing.
Boundless Strike is there. Even the Laguna and Gleipnir comes through, and it ends up being a disaster.
gua
They lose
suka, anjing.
4 heroes
Permainan begitu ngentot,
trying to
ngentot.
make this play.
Tongkat langsung shot.
Great read
Santai.
from Tundra.
Santai baik.
Recognizing, you know what Falcons would think
Cover
we're
dulu
doing
nggak
after
sih?
taking this tier
Ngentot
2
kayak
as
bisa.
Tormentor spawns? Taking their
Cover
Tormentor.
dulu dong, bro.
They're going to try to take our
Oh, wisdom,
Tormentor, so
oke
let's go
lah,
stop them.
wisdom.
And then rush it back over to their Tormentor so we can still take it. They're all the way over here. I really don't think you can fight
Nggak
this
dapet, anjing.
on Falcons, even though you know what they're up to.
They're
Kayak
just
kena
not
skill
giving
dua
them
nih,
any
guys.
breathing
Anjing,
room,
tadi
right?
tidur.
Like
Kenapa lu Ci?
Falcons
Gitu
are
aja,
trying to
menurut
make
gue ya,
good
ngentot,
recovery plays here, but Tundra is reading it absolutely
Ada smoke
perfect. They know
dari
exactly
Falcon.
what they are up to. And it's gonna be
Gue nggak
a
tahu kenapa
smoke
mereka
at
smoke.
the moment,
Padahal di sini
snaking
MK-nya
forced
megang
to
Aegis
try and
karena
clean
MK
up the
mungkin
wave
nggak ada
mid. So
ulti.
they
Mereka
have to
coba
know,
berani
there's
gitu,
no way
memberanikan diri.
Falcons,
Tapi yang mereka lupa
is
di sini
not
ada
smoked
Lina
right
anjing.
now.
The OP
Top
hero.
lane, they will clean up the Tormentor. Goes to
Really good
9
shard.
class on the Lash, so
Gue
even
nggak tahu sih
better.
kanan kayaknya bakal kalah anjing.
Amara's got to find a big target.
If you can find Pure, that's the
Aduh
best
jangan
target
dong,
rate,
ya
but Pure, yeah, would
aduh
absolutely be best.
selalu
There's
si
the Blink,
Pure
the Crush comes
anjing,
out, the
anjing Bang
BKB
Pure.
immediately in response. As the Cookie
Tapi
trying to
untung
get
dia-
Amara to safety, the
Jauhin
spear not
ngentot,
going to
ngentot.
actually stun him up, but
Tapi
he's
untung dia beli
alone.
BKB guys. Kalau nggak BKB itu rata anjing.
You took this fight mostly without your team here. Skitter was not available. 9 class finally gets picked up. They buy back on Amar as he's going to try and rejoin the fight. They find Snaking. Boundless Strike doing some serious work. Crit with the Mortar Kisses, but it's canceled by the Lash. Marine wants to get back into this
Landas,
one.
landas,
Who do
landas.
they find? Back onto 9 class. The Crush comes out. Corrosive Haze is there. 9 class. He's probably dead,
Mati,
but
mati,
the
mati.
Lina damage gets the time
Gua
lapse off.
bilang Lina
Skitter
tuh
needs to be
hero OP, anjing.
careful. Boundless Strike now out
Nggak,
from
Blin.
Thompson. But he's able to Sakuchi away for now. But you got the Simeon stride. Can he continue to chase?
Top
He's gonna try.
sih.
Absolutely.
Tops,
Gets the bug on top of him. Boundless
Nggak jadi
strike
top sih,
just
anjing.
barely off the mark.
With the invis, you don't know where he's going. You just had to guess.
Ada buyback dari Slardar.
Doesn't guess right this
Wah,
time.
ngentot,
Skitter
permainan
will
apa tuh?
escape.
Wah
Maybe
gini
not
nih.
that bad for
Permainan-permainan
Falcons,
tai
all
kucing
things
nih. Gue paling gak
considered.
suka
I
nih
think They
anjing.
actually gained about 1,000 gold and all of that.
Trot,
Nice boundless strike, but baited there. Malrine gonna turn
Oh,
around,
Aegis
just
ya.
gets Thompson's Aegis.
Gue kira nggak ada
It
Aegis
was
anjing.
close
Itu
to
sih permainan
expiring, so I
ngentot
think he's
tuh tadi
okay
anjing
with
kalau
that. Pure a
mati
little bit
beneran
low
itu.
on mana as his reactive armor is gonna pop, and he needs some help and fast. I don't know, is he gonna get it? Snaking trying to come through, but doesn't have the spells. Looking for Pure now.
Hey,
on the
Lina,
backside.
wait,
It's gonna be
lihat
Skinner. Does he
Lina
have
dong,
damage?
guys,
Brings down
guys.
this Lina. It's gonna
Please.
be close. A great
Cover
cookie
him,
out
bro.
forward.
What the fuck?
minus armor from this little shredder trying to help, but he's just too tanky. Way too much, and the auras coming from White Bomb. The boundless strike connects Skinner. Saved once again, but the Lina still finishes the job. And they get the kill. White Bomb with a perfectly timed stun onto Amar. He doesn't get the
Ngentot nih Ramjes
crush.
nih anjing.
And the Lina's chasing,
Okay.
and so is Thompson. The Gleipnir
Let's
connects. They all
go.
die on the high
Let's go,
ground.
brother.
There's a reason
ngapain nih?
Lina has this 97%
Wah, ngentot
contest
mau ngapain
rate
nih
we're
anjing?
talking
Wah,
about.
Ini mau ngapain anjing permainan-permainan kayak gini nih?
The pause.
Wah, ngentot di permainan-permainan kayak gini nih anjing yang bikin kalah. Ini turnamen loh, anjing,
No
anjing.
fortify.
Dia bisa di depan sini,
Let's
jing.
see,
Wah,
top racks is dying.
ngehe.
Mid lane creeps are here.
Ngehe jiji Amar anjing.
At this point, I don't know. You're farmed.
Ini permainan
It's
apa
23
jing
minutes,
kayak gini nge?
24 minutes, so maybe you can't
Ini kalau
complete
sampai
the
mati
entire
anjing
Vegas
ini
here.
lucu banget sih.
Maybe 1, maybe 2 barracks. But you've cemented yourself in such a good spot here. Falcons with some good fighting spirit. I'm sure they'll still play
Ini
this
orang
one
sih
out.
sarkasamnya kayak tai.
Despite the banter
Amar ya,
going
anjing.
on here.
This is always quite funny. I feel like
Gua
these
juga,
two
guys.
teams
Gua-
that love to get
gua kencing
involved
dulu,
in the
anjing.
all chat.
That's true. Now, if you GG'd out here, I would understand that. It's looking real bad.
All right, here we go. Back into the game as the top lane of barracks goes down, or the, I'm sorry, the top tier 3 goes down. The lane of barracks to follow. So that will refresh the fortifications here. I mean, they got really close to bringing down the Lina. It's one of those things, though, we were wondering, you know, will they have enough physical damage to just deal with her? It seems Whitemon having the Shard, having the War Cry, and the Solar Crest, like, it's so much damage mitigation. And it's just enough to keep her in these fights.
Yeah, she also took Vampire Fangs, and she's one of the better carries for it. You're spell stealing off your spells, and then life stealing off your right clicks. So all that extra armor she's being given gives her a lot more effective HP versus physical damage. So it's just really hard to kill her. And soon the second Roshan will be up, and I imagine this time the Aegis is going on to Lina. So you're gonna have to do it twice. However you manage to kill her once, it's gonna have to happen a second time. And I'm not sure you'll have those abilities.
Tops
Nice.
with the Wukong's command. Nice little bait on the high ground.
What's Wukong's? Falcons looking to take a fight.
This
knowing
wraparound.
that ability's no longer there.
Ooh, the
But they do not
smoke
find her.
popped. They thought she was in the tree line, and instead you find nothing.
Oke. Nice one, masih nice.
Now you've got to start cutting waves.
Skitter's gonna try
Jadi
to
gimana guys tadi Marsnya? Mati atau enggak tuh?
Well, you're going to lose another lane of barracks here in the mid, as they still have
Wih.
catapulted a full creep wave, so they might just go
Melenya
straight
anjing,
for
mele
the
barak
mega
wah
creeps.
ngentot nih. Wah,
There
permainan-permainan
is
kayak tai kucing
still
gini nih.
one fortification left from Falcons.
Oh, mereka sisain biar nggak ada
save
40
for
kayaknya.
your Aegis. Or to your Ancient.
Kayaknya gitu sih.
But
Yeah, at this point, probably. Oh my goodness,
A lot
the
of
burst
burst
damage
damage.
from Maureen Thompson's gonna survive through it though! The Mortarmakissis finally managed to finish the job. Amar helps take down this Sven as well. Another pause.
tiba-tiba pause mulu.
Ooh,
I'm
that
sure
is-
there's totally lag going on right now.
Yeah. We're gonna see a
Okay.
very, very impactful Light Strike array about to connect in a moment. Pure is about to clean up these supports.
Good for you
Burn.
guys. I don't think you
Doesn't.
need 9 class, even if he's having lag. I think you've got this one in the bag. But I mean, coming up here with this LSA landing and when 9 class reconnects, he'll throw out the split earth, continue the double stun. This is the megas finished. Even if you didn't win here, you would then go over to the Roshan pit, grab that, and then you'd be finishing the game. Oh, I guess there's still a mid racks.
Sorry
Creeps are gonna
anjing,
kill
Dor.
it.
Apa sih
I mean, this is the
ngentot
megas.
gajas ding.
This is dangerous from Tundra though. They are engaging in the all chat banter. That is a buff to Falcons. They become stronger when you do this. And now this game, it's probably in the bag, but game 3, I don't know. You might be making your opponent stronger with this.
Alright, the LSA connects. Goodbye,
Ini casternya juga
Omni9.
bego,
The
dia
Cookie
pikir
actually
dunia
got
ini
him out
anime
in a
kali
second, but now it's
ngentot.
just Skitter versus
Gara-gara
the
orang
world.
marah, jadi
Yeah,
mereka
he's
jadi
dead.
lebih kuat. Anjing
So
itu kayak
all
anime
five
banget.
fault. The GG comes out immediately after.
Very well done by Tundra.
Nah,
This is the style they want.
2-1 ngasih Tundra guys.
I
Guys,
think the Monkey
kalian setuju
King
nggak sih
is something
Tundra
they're more
2-1
comfortable
anjing?
with, and
Coba
they
dong
also have the
komen
Lino.
itu dong guys, komen
Pretty
guys,
good
komen
hero to
guys.
have for this kind of stuff.
Kalian setuju nggak?
I think much more
Kalau Tundra tuh
aggressive,
2-1
potential,
anjing.
stronger lane than the Faceless Void. But either way, however you want to say it was, they played very aggressively. They were
Tundra.
all over the map. They got first blood, which helped out a lot. Helped them get the second blood and the third blood. And the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, because they went. This
Clean
left
game
track
menurut gua,
popped
ini clean
off. He
game
was
banget.
going everywhere, helping his team with that diabolical
Oke, sampai situ
damage,
sampai situ
Monkey King
aja guys, kita
running
nanti
everywhere,
nungguin lagi ke
transforming
game
into
ketiga.
everything, playing
Kita tunggu lagi
chaotic
game
Dota
ketiga. Oke, guys.
all across the map, and Falcons just could not keep up with it.
Istirahat dulu coy.
Snaking didn't seem like super comfortable on the Omni Knight in this game compared to like some of the other heroes we've seen. And 9 class like definitely punished him for it, starting in the bottom lane, right? Just from the first blood, but then also just positioning really well. And anytime he finds snaking at a position, it's just the spear from Ramses to get him that second kill. And like you said, it kind of just snowballs from there. The big shout out to the support duo in general on Tundra. These guys were playing side by side for like the entire mid game. Like, and Thompson's able to just rotate in with Simeon Stride into a Boundless Strike. Like, just the Stormhammer and the Boundless Strike was enough with Diabolic Edict to kill any hero on the map. And they did it so often.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Lina wants. Combustion gave her a lot of fighting power, but also farming speed. And she just free farmed for, I'd say, like the first 15 minutes because her team was just drawing so much attention. And actually, a quieter game from Ramses. Usually we see him get active pretty early, but this time the mid and the supports were doing it. So he's like, oh, I can just farm up a little bit and I'll join later, right? And that's, eventually he did come in and it was 4 heroes running around while Lina finished up her items. But I agree that we didn't quite feel that Omni Knight impact, but I also think some of it is the draft. I feel that Omni Knight loves when a hero is just there, like Lina, right? And you just stand behind Lina and you're like, yes, jump the Lina, and then I can throw all my spells. I'm not a mobile hero. I like to just sit with these heroes that are also not mobile, and I just make them stronger. But you have a Timbersaw who's running around in these fights. Skitter on the Weaver is zooming around everywhere. Slardar's a fast hero who's blink initiating. So it becomes very difficult for the Omni Knight to get to those heroes and use his spells. So I feel like that was a little bit of a mismatch in the Omni Knight with the cores. I think it's much easier when you take a Huskar, for example, because Huskar just sits there and attacks. The Lina sits there and attacks. Sniper, Drow, those types of heroes. Or maybe, like, melee heroes work too, but you don't want the kinds that are zooming around in these fights.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point. The Weaver Omni Knight synergy is definitely lacking, and I'm not sure if that it's not like the thing that broke their draft, but it certainly doesn't help them in a game like this where Tundra's already ahead. 9 class getting MVP here with his Leshrac. It's not that surprising, right? Like they did a lot to enable his hero in this game, and he ran with it, right? Gets a really early Solar Crest, gets a Yule Scepter, which is not something we see all that often, but it is, you know, it's great to keep him alive, just maybe bait in some fights, but also it dispels Timbersaw's Aghanim Scepter, which he ended up just using it exclusively as like a blink initiate burst damage tool to try and kill some heroes, and almost managed to make it work.
Yeah, also works versus that Guardian Angel, so just really cool pickup this game. Guys, that was just game 2. We're gonna go to game 3. In that break, make sure you go sign up at 1xBet, get up to a 100% bonus in your deposit. And then we will be back with game number 3. Who's gonna win? If you think you know, go sign up. Go put it in there.
All right, we'll see you soon. We're helping save her right now from. There's a young guy behind you that's like trying to creep onto this guy. The final game in this lower bracket series is about to begin. Tundra versus Falcons. One team's going to advance to play against Team Spirit in the grand finals. But we'll see who that's going to be in just a short moment as we get ready to jump into this draft. I am a little bit curious to see what's going to happen here because Falcons will have first pick this time. So whether or not that's going to change anything, we will see. It has looked pretty good so far in this series, getting like some of their more like comfort picks or their iconic heroes. I don't know. What do you think?
I missed who actually won the coin toss, but I'm guessing it was Tundra and that they picked second pick because I do think stealing it away from Falcons is quite nice because it's much harder to get cheesed by any of their picks. I think that's part of why they won that last game. Like for example, they're the ones pulling out the Monkey King at the very end, which was left in the pool versus Tundra, a little bit surprising. But maybe that's what Falcons thought they were going to take. They left Lina and Monkey King, and when they didn't take Monkey King, they're like, oh, maybe they're not going to play Monkey King. But they went back for it on that last pick. So this time we're speeding through the draft already. This time Shadow Demon going to be picked up, a very strong support. And I think Falcons will play around it better than the Omni Knight. They have more experience with it. And he's also just really good. I'd say better than Omni Knight, who is still in the pool, but now you don't really want to pick him into the Shadow Demon.
I think that's the big thing is this hero kind of blocks the Omni Knight pick a little bit. They get rid of the Clockwork, which they have had a lot of success on, and they do just go back for the opener of the Lina. They're like, okay, it worked well enough last game. We're comfortable going for it again here in game 2.
Let's
The
go,
Mars might
Lina
be,
lagi.
another hero on the table. It's not as good into the Shadow Demon. And I think this is one of the things where I didn't really like the Omni pick too much because it looked awkward for them to play. Omni Knight, yeah, you can save people with inside the arena and stuff, but Shadow Demon, I feel like it's just a better hero at doing that, right? With the disruption.
I think so. Leaving in the Lina though is still, I mean, she did really well. But part of it is that she had so much space, so it's not that the hero can't be answered. And hopefully that's how they adjust their draft. Like more ways to take the fights to the Lina. Part of the reason Lina's so good is because she has so many cool cosmetics, guys. So make sure you're joining in the giveaway. Exclamation point 1x give. Last day, like we said, last day to get yourself some cool sets. It makes you a better player. This is scientifically known.
It's a fact. It's how I made it to High Immortal, you know? Just, I spent a lot of money on the game, and I got better teammates as a result, you know?
And you don't even have to spend it because it's a giveaway, so you can get it for free, guys. Get in there. Are they going to go back for, not the Mars because it's banned, but another very stable offlaner who just initiates? That's going to be the Centaur, and if Lina's in trouble, you can maybe stampede her away, or later, maybe we'll see that workhorse come out. Or not the workhorse, the cart. What's it called? The cart to pick her up and protect her.
It is workhorse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got confused because it's fast, it's also workhorse, and I said it, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Which one's which? Are they both called workhorse? No way.
No. It's not. They changed the name.
Ricky's checking for me. I'll finish my thoughts. It's a good pick because of that. I think it helps protect the Lina. It fits the types of heroes that they've been picking for Ramses all tournament long. It's just like, stable laner, you're going to initiate for us. that's what we need because everyone else is chaos. So you need to be our stable offlaner. And it's also a nice steal from Falcons because it is a good combo with the Shadow Demon. Not that we see them play Centaur a ton, but if they wanted it, it would have been a good pick with that Shadow Demon. We've seen that lane combo be very successful many times.
It is workhorse, by the way.
Both of
Horsepower
them?
is the facet.
Oh, horsepower. There we go.
Yeah. They go back for the Slardar. Interesting. So I think one of the reasons last game wasn't super successful for Falcons, Mars provides a great like team fight tool and utility to play around. And we could see like in several of the fights, like they try to go on the Lina, you just get arena'd. Centaur is very similar in the fact that Stampede just gives her the ability to run away from these types of initiations. It's not as good, which is maybe why they feel like the Slardar is a decent matchup here. That being said, this could just go mid on the Lina. Like, this doesn't have to be pure as hero, so we'll see what they end up doing if they feel like this is like an even worse game for the carry Lina. They get rid of the Sven, of course, so this makes the Slardar a lot more potent here.
I also think that last time they tried to combo the Snapfire with the Slardar, and in theory that's pretty good, but when you had the Sven and the Lina, 2 AoE stuns, you had ways to react to that. Warcry is also instant. I think Shadow Demon Disruption might be a little bit easier to work with. If Lina steps up a little too far, you disrupt her. That just lets you walk in, and if it's not that lane, it's maybe like the Mirana arrow following the stun, but it might be a bit easier with these heroes to play aggressively onto that Lina if it is a carry Lina.
I mean, it's one of those things now. You have Shadow Demon Mirana probably as the support duo, since this is, you know, snaking. He is like probably the #1 support Mirana player. I can't remember anyone who's played more games on this hero recently than he has. They go back for the Leshrac, probably for 9 class here once again. It looks very good after the last game. You don't have as much synergy with it at the moment as you did then. Right, the Tusk, not as great of a stun as, say, like the Stormhammer from the Sven, but you can still kind of work with Shards and the Snowball. They do manage to get the Wind Ranger as well, a hero that was banned out in the last phase, so I think overall Falcons have adjusted their draft quite a bit here to the Lina pick, and I like it a lot. I think the big thing was the Sven and the Mars. Those have been removed. They get themselves much higher single target heroes to try and help bring her down.
I also think there's more flexibility this time for Falcons, which they don't have the final pick, but it's still useful going into the banning stage where the enemy is maybe not fully sure what you want. Last time it was a bit more telegraphed with things like Omni-Knight, Snapfire picked up. You knew those were going to be the support duo. I mean, Snapfire, of course, technically still possible, but it's really dropped off ever since the little Shredder nerfs. So this is still keeping it quite open. Maybe makes it a bit harder for Tundra in their own last pick when they don't know what matchup they're going to get. They've still got some flex in theirs as well. Tusk going to be a support. Leshrac could be a support again for 9 class. He did amazing with it, but you could end up throwing it mid, do a carry Lina, grab a new 4 support, or maybe 5 support, because it could be 9 class Tusk. Grab a different hard support for Whitemon. They've got their own options here.
Yeah, I like the flexibility quite a bit. I'm curious where they want to go with these last set of bans, like what they think Falcons want to pick up, because I feel like it's probably going to be Skitter's Wind Ranger, because he's the one who's been playing it most often for them. And he actually really likes the Whirlwind build, and I think against a Centaur, that's okay. We'll see, though. Yeah, they actually ban out the Primal Beast. That's a Malrine classic. We haven't seen it up too much, but pretty good against the Lina in terms of staying on top of her. Also, Pulverize being a BKB, Piercing Disable, which is always useful in the late game. Not physical damage, though, which is something like when you have a Slardar, you kind of want to lean more into your physical damage dealers.
Yeah. You also have that Solar Flare could be an option. It could be support who might then go Moonlight Shadows, but if you do run Solar Flare, which would be quite good with the Slardar and the Wind Ranger, your last hero maybe also wants to benefit from it. Maybe doesn't need to because you already have 3 heroes doing it. But the option for that core Mirana is still there. Monkey King is still in the pool, but with the possibility of having to play into a mid Wind Ranger, I think, less worrisome.
I think we might want to keep our eyes out for a sniper here.
For Falcons?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Maureen like really play. I mean, the thing is like,
Kinda
what
cool.
doesn't he play? But because
I'm sure
of
he could do it.
yeah, because of the Mars ban, it actually seems kind of decent. Like, yeah, you have Centaur Stampede, but it's really not that big of a deal for the sniper to play around. You can always get Concussive Grenade for the Tusk Shards. He's a natural pike builder. I feel like it's actually a pretty solid pick, depending on, you know, what Tundra go with. And I'm trying to think, like, if you pick sniper, what mid laner would they be really worried about them going with? Okay, the Pango ban, actually really good. That's a full physical damage hero.
I'm not open to the sniper. I think for your final pick, you would just pick someone who tries to gap close to get to the sniper, and maybe don't win the lane, but you play the game that way later on. You find the sniper, you find the Shadow Demon for your team. I don't know exactly who that would be, but I think that's what I would aim for.
I mean, it would just be Storm Spirit, I imagine, right? I don't know. I'm looking through the list of heroes right now to
Pretty
try and
solid.
see what I might want to go for. I'm trying to think if it's even like a good Invoker game, but we haven't really seen Invokers come out for Team Falcons here in quite a bit.
Radiant team pick.
Get rid of the Monkey King. All right.
Maybe thinking of a melee hero for that mid lane then.
What about
Or
mid
maybe you
Slidearm?
just, you know, Thompson just loves that hero and he plays it so well. Could also just be a respect. Because sometimes, you like, even if Monkey King doesn't win the mid lane, we see Simeon Stride just be so powerful, allow you to rotate quickly and catch up by just using Primal Spring in the jungle, farm up real quick, and then show up the fights. So it is just a very annoying hero to deal with.
Dragon Knight. Okay. Kind of forgot about this hero, to be honest. We haven't seen it played too often, but again, another hero that benefits from minus armor, especially when he goes to Corrosive Dragon. So, likely to be the mid lane GK. In terms of the response from Tundra, I'd actually really like a Queen of Pain here.
5 seconds remaining.
It's either, I mean, I'm trying to think like what you
That
could
could
go
be
for, but I
cool.
feel like Queen of Pain actually owns.
That could be cool. I would be a little worried because we did see Thompson play Queen of Pain versus GPK's Dragonite, and then that lane did not go so well for him. I don't know, he was just out of touch on that lane because I do think Quap generally does well, but
Ooh.
Okay,
they're gonna
that's
go
another
Lesh
very
mid,
good
I
pick.
think. Oh no, he's gonna take the Bat Rider. Okay. I wasn't sure if he wanted to like let 9 class play the Bat Rider, but dude, this is a very good Bat Rider lane, and he is gonna go
I thought you
Arsonist.
might-
It's cool.
yeah, I thought you might swap. Like, have, if you see the Bat Rider go mid, you take Wind Ranger mid, who I think should be a little safer versus Bat Rider, and then just do Dragonite carry. But I guess they still just want the carry Wind Ranger and the more active playmaking Dragonite mid. So he'll just have to get through that Bat Rider lane, which will be a little tough for him. Maybe he'll get some help, though, from Crit and Snaking. These are heroes that could rotate over, or at least just make a bunch of stacks, which, if you decide to take the Red Dragon facet, you can clear quickly. We've seen a lot of Dragonites move towards that facet, even with that negative armor discussion we were having. Looks like he currently has that Fire Dragon selected. See what he...
I'm gonna be shocked.
Sometimes they
if he
swap
goes
on us
Fire
last
Dragon.
second.
It just seems
Well,
like so
it's-
good to go Corrosive Dragon. Like,
But if you get shut down, right? We've seen this from some Dragonites where it's like, if you know your lane's
True.
bad, you know you're gonna have to recover. Fire Dragon's the way. And yes, the Corrosive Dragon could be cool, but if you're getting smashed, then it's like, well, I can't go in. I can't even apply the negative armor to begin with.
that's a good point. We actually talked about this the last time we saw the Dragon Knight, where they were having a really rough Dragon Knight lane, and they were stacking instead. And you have the Shadow Demon who can stack, and that'll give Malrine some recovery here with the Fire Dragon Cleave. So that might be the way to go. I think Thompson should go for a Witchblade this game. Like, I don't know how early, but it's one of those things that, like, eventually the Witchblade damage, if he takes advantage of, like, the Shard, it's really good against some of these heroes. But I think for now, it's going to probably just be the standard, like, Blink 4 staff stuff. But I'd be down for, like, a Witchblade Shard eventually. It makes the Dragon Knight's game impossible.
That could be cool. It's also a lot of armor versus some of the negative armor. Like, even if he didn't end up taking Corrosive Dragon, there's still the Slardar, right? So
Yeah.
some extra armor will go a long ways.
This is going to be a fun one. This is the final game in this lower bracket finals, everybody. The winner, again, advancing to play Team Spirit just later here in the evening. But whether or not it's going to be Team Falcons or Tundra, we are about to find out as the teams make their ways out into the maps. Take a look at these facets. It's going to be the Solar Flare.
Elah,
for the
Thompson
side of
Bad Trader
Falcons,
lagi.
which
Mau nangis gua.
we kind of expected, right? You're running Whirlwind.
Thompson, aduh, kenapa sih lu pick Bad
The
Trader
attack
lagi?
speed is pretty much good on
Kalah
all of
lagi
these
dah,
heroes.
anjing. Wah, ngentot ada SD dia
Mars
pick
going
Bad
to
Trader
leg
gak?
day. He was spamming between the two. Maybe couldn't fully decide or just having a little bit of fun while he's waiting.
30 seconds to battle.
But I kind of like the idea. Helps him get on top of that Lina a little bit faster.
Wah, ngentot.
I think leg day is just really good for the lane.
Wah,
And like
anjing,
Brine Guard is
bisa.
really solid if you're playing against like multiple heroes that are gonna be
Bisa Bad Trader
excuse
lagi,
me, in
bro,
melee range,
bro.
because
Wah,
then you can get,
ngaco
like,
nih
Blink
anjing.
Crush onto multiple with the shard, and then you're looking at like, you know, 10, 15 extra armor on the Slardar when you do that. But I think in this game that's gonna be very difficult to do. So, well, Amar, not a good spot for him right now. They're gonna try and get first blood on over to the Bat Rider. The Whitemon takes it with the blood grenade though. That's a little awkward. Not the, I mean, getting into either Pure or the mid lane Fire would
Anak
be
ngentot,
massive.
anak ngentot.
It's still a kill though.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for that. I feel like it's usually not worth it to risk that kind of move when you don't have the team with you, but either way, first blood over to like you said, Whitemon. Tusk is not a bad hero to get early levels and gold on.
Yeah, not at all.
Alright, do you think Lina will have as good of a time this game?
Probably not.
Mati dia anjing.
Whitemon just gonna go down. They're gonna taste his own medicine, dying to a blood grenade. I mean, Crit had like 10
Sumpah ini Bad
stacks
Trader
in
jadi
his
nge-troll lagi
basket.
aja. Udah, itu aja anjing.
Yeah, that amplify.
Kenapa dia nge-pick MK lagi sih? Emang kena
Very
ban tadi
strong.
MK-nya ya? Udah, itu hero-nya dia, ben cocok, ding.
I
Sama
think
Thompson
overall
tuh.
they've addressed the Lina much better in this
Oke,
game
itu
than
aja,
they did in the
ngehe,
last
ngehe.
game. Whether or not that translates into mid-late game, we'll see. But I do like the heroes much better.
Maksudnya
These
nih orang
nine class
kacau,
doesn't
jing.
already
Kalau
have
main
3
tuh
kills,
ngentot
so
Thompson tuh anjing.
that part's going
Permainan
better for
tai
you.
anjing dia tuh kalau
And I
main.
think snaking on the Mirana, far more comfortable hero for him, but also much better at
Bad Trader
dealing
sih
with the
hero-nya
less
udah
direct
dead
support.
anjing menurut
You're
gua.
not melee and you have leap. So
dead
if you're
hero
ever
gitu.
really in trouble, like there, you're just gonna leap away and then just poke back.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna take nearly as much damage from Diabolic Edict. And Centaur won't be able to isolate you as well. Last game you had the Mars, God's Rebuke, and Spear can push you away from creeps to set up that Diabolic Edict.
Oh, Hurricane. That's always fun. Love to see that.
Thinking about diving Malrine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's looking like a
Itu
pretty
dia.
dead Dragonite. Oh, he
Tidak
Dragon
sih.
Tailed a creep. Oopsie.
Panik dia anjing. Ngentot kok
Wonder if
Malin
maybe
bisa panik
intentional
main
to try to get
anjing.
it killed off so the tower starts
19
hitting.
km
Actually true,
ngentot
but-
Malin.
Might have still been better to stun the hero
Yeah.
first.
I mean, he had 7 stacks of napalm on him. He might, like, the whole thing is Lestrax just trying to, like, force him into the Bat Rider, right? He can't run away and take a whole edict on his own. So 9 class, again, with his rotations around the map on his Lestrax, already paying off.
One of the benefits of this hero, just so fast. got a windlace as well, so just sitting at 345 movement speed, these early rotations don't take nearly as much time as someone like Crystal Maiden walking over, or actually even the Mirana. She's at 285 move speed. Sagan's
Coba
getting old,
ngentot
so
bisa tiba-tiba
it's
di.
not as fast as it used
Wah,
to be.
kontol jing.
Yeah, the anime took a lot out of him, I think.
He did
Kira
so
mau
much
di
work
skill
there.
satu,
You know,
tentunya kagak
spoilers,
juga.
It's alright, you're
You
not
have to do a
missing
lot.
much anyway. God, that
I
show
liked it.
sucked.
I liked it.
Bagus
Enjoyed
di sini
it.
PKS-nya.
Dragonite getting run down again. He's got 3 napalm stacks on him. Should be okay with this rotation coming in.
And Thompson,
That's a lot of damage going in.
he gets some TPs out as well, which is big, right? Crit no longer having a TP for the mid lane. And Thompson can continue to just play aggressive, stacking up here against Malrine. And
Yeah.
playing
Ada
for
40
the
nih.
power
Ada
room
40,
here in a
ada 40.
moment. The early boots pickup is really nice, and
Boots
Malrine's
nggak
forced to
kena
go
ngentot
like a
tuh,
boots rush
Malrine
himself, so
better
it's slowing
player.
down his ability to get to like
Dia ngerti,
his double
Jing.
bracers and extra
Kalau nggak kena
regen.
tuh,
Yeah, I thought Thompson hit level 5 there. I thought he might consider a point in flame break to knock Malrine back to finish up the kill, but
Well,
maybe decide it's not worth adjusting his build like that.
no,
He's already winning, so
He's like, I'm not falling for this Lesh rotation a second time.
this Kenji.
it's a good read. But Lestrik's actually just wrapping around even deeper because of that, and it might still work.
Dude, do you think is that
Oh,
creep
these
wave
creeps are
gonna
gonna
spot him?
scout him now, so
Alright, a little smiley face from Malrine. I mean, the thing is when you're playing a hero like Centaur in this bottom lane, he's totally capable
nggak
of
main,
sitting in this
ngentot Malrine
2v1. Like, we
anjing.
saw this a lot when Monkey King 4 first started showing up.
Dia
and it was
maju
just
mati
courier
masalahnya,
sniping.
bro.
Like, Centaur was like the go-to off laner with horsepower, just running around with multiple bracers, and he's chilling. Snake King in the mid lane. He's gonna go ahead and take a little bit of edict damage here, but does get the blink away. I think he saw the ward get placed. Nice grab in the top side, but Whitemon
Ya kenapa nggak ditarik ya?
saves him with the drinking buddies.
Masa ditarik dong ke tempat lu?
Just getting a
Cuman, wah,
lot of
ngentot
damage
nih
out.
permainan
No, I think if he
anjing.
gets a 4th stack, he's gonna get popped. Yeah, very nicely done from Crit.
Ngaco jeng itu tadi. Kenapa dia
very nice.
kenapa
Lina's still
nggak ditarik
farming
ke dia gitu?
decently,
Malah
but
dia yang
actually managing to find some kills this time.
maju
in that top lane.
anjing.
Well, at least giving
Kacau nih
you more of a
Whitemon
game
nih.
to play. Last time, it really felt they were just
Ditarik dong harusnya
recovering for a
Linanya,
lot of that early
bro.
game.
Wah. Ngehe.
And especially the support. That was a big thing last game.
Bisa
too. The
narik kan ya
support
guys
ended
ya?
up under level.
Drinking body karena gue
for
pernah ngeliat
Falcons.
orang ditarik
Yeah,
jing.
so far, getting kills should be looking better. Mid
Oke
lane,
banget itu skill
drinking
nih.
buddies into the lasso, pull back on Malrine. Dropping pretty low.
Pasti anjing
Lestrik's
Malrine
here to
ngentot.
party as
Mati
well.
mulu
This
jing
is
ini
a
pasti.
very dead Dragonite.
Shadow Demon does take the power rune away, which is nice.
Mati mulu
but-
jing itu pasti dia.
Yeah, this is kind of expected, right? You last picked this Batrider into a really advantaged lane, and they're punishing it so heavily.
It is giving some space to the side lanes, though. Like, we said Centaur can be left alone. You can, but you're still not farming as well as if you had heroes with you. Oh, trying to fix that now. Rotating top, getting a kill on Shadow Demon. Amar should be
Nggak mati.
Thompson, does he
no
care
flame
though?
break.
Mati,
He has a crush, which he's gonna have to use.
Bang, nggak mati
Hard
jing.
to find.
Ngehe,
Yeah,
batu
a little
sih.
Too long.
It's a lot of
Wah,
slow
Sentanya
time.
bisa mati
They're gonna
bro,
punish
gimana
us,
ceritanya
get the
dah?
kill on the Centaur,
Blazer
which is
3
pretty
ngentot bisa
necessary,
mati jing.
because it looks like your Wisdom Rune's gonna get stolen.
Well, is it? Snowball?
Nice.
Yeah, he does get it. Really well done from
Udah balik
Whitemon.
topstone ngapain sih lu? Balik aja
Thompson
jing.
thinking about sticking around,
Cuma
but
support
deciding
gitu, lu mau
nah,
ngapain?
he's just gonna
Wah,
let it
mantap,
go.
bagus
That's
banget
5
berdiri
stacks
ini.
onto the Tusk. He's gonna come
Thank you
out,
loh.
get taken down by Amar.
Bagus amat jing itu.
Snaking tried to steal the Wisdom Rune on the other side of the map off the Centaur kill, but that's what the others had already TP'd out to deal with. And it was close. It ended up being a click war for it, but Tundra comes out ahead again. 2 Wisdom Runes, which it won't be as bad this time because you are finding some kills on Falcons more than last game. But you are going to have that level advantage coming in here. You're going to have these ultimates just a little bit sooner, maybe a minute or two, in which you can try to find even more fights to start building a lead.
Lagi dong,
There-
Menaro.
it's a much
Lagi,
closer game
babi.
this time.
Absolutely, it's completely different, right? Like in terms of the.
Ini dia kayaknya sih
strength
beneran
of some
nggak
of these
main ya.
heroes. Dragonite's gotten a little bit of recovery space here. Top lane, they are going to see
Apa
Crit
nih?
come in.
Mau apa
Whitemon
nih?
is here as well, trying to
Wah,
just push them away
ngentot.
from that power rune,
Nice.
and with drinking buddies, oh boy, is that a fast kill. Stampede comes through as well.
Lasso,
They can
lasso.
amplify damage on Pure. That's just going to be a lasso pulled right into the hands of the Lina. 3 kills
Kalah
around the
nggak sih
map.
Falcon,
As
guys?
they also
Ini
take
udah
down
gua bilang,
the
anjing.
Wind
Falcon
Ranger
kayak nggak
on the
jago-jago
bottom
banget sekarang.
side.
Gue
That
nggak
is
ngerti apa Falcon yang nggak
absolutely
jago,
huge
apa
for
sekarang
snaking.
Tundra yang lebih jago.
They get a
Snaking
snaking.
gets a return kill.
Oh, no. Okay,
Mati
snaking
juga.
gets a return kill. All right, that's nice. They're going to get
Well, I
him,
should
though.
say, I say he gets the kill first. Now,
Jangan
Ramses is
di-aim,
technically getting
bego.
a return kill. Or is he? He's
Ramses
actually,
anjing.
no boots.
Wah,
He might not be fast enough.
Oh,
Shaq
that's...
his life.
That's rough.
Udah
That's a punish for sure, not having a point
Wah,
of double
ngentot
edge.
itu sih Pak. Males manjing gua kalau jadi dia.
But understandable why he didn't
Wah,
because of how they've been
Topias.
playing. Leshrack's been leaving him alone, and Retaliate is the build to
Nice.
do if you just have
Itu
to
dia
survive.
permainan. Jangan kasih mati, jangan kasih mati,
Nice
jangan kasih
Dragon
mati.
Tail out, Split Earth, not available. 9 Clash just gonna run down Malrine.
Mati
No
juga.
way. He's gonna get saved for the moment
Wah,
by
itu
crit.
lucu banget sih.
As the
Kalau
blood grenade comes back
Kalau
out the
mid
other
mati
way, I
sama
hear
support patch itu
a
lucu
whirlwind
banget sih.
somewhere. It's onto the Tusk and
Alros,
Whitemon. As a Walrus
Alros.
punch and a Shards in
Alros,
1
bro.
second. Might be able to make himself some space. He's
Wah.
actually out. Very sick. Oh!
Oh!
Skitter
What
gets
a
him on the
read.
power shot. Very well played.
Tusk
Bisa
tried to
diwalrus,
juke
Jing.
back,
Kenapa nggak
thinking the
diwalrus ya?
power shot was gonna come down the
Tower loh itu,
obvious
terus dia
path, but Skitter
belum ada skill 3 gitu.
predicted it. Very nice. We do see the struggle of Whirlwind early, which is it's not nearly as good at getting early kills. We see how long he has to chase that
Tapi
Tusk.
kayaknya bakal kena
But
bite
later
juga
when you
nggak sih?
pick up items, it will be
Kalau
really good
dia
for team
balik
fights.
balik Walrus
because
dia
you
tinggal
get
skill
more
3 aja
heroes.
nih si Skitter.
For now, it's mostly a farming tool.
Berarti emang gue yang cupu guys kayaknya. Kayaknya emang gue yang cupu Jing.
This game is very close now.
Tapi Ramses yang tai babi nggak ada skill 3 buat apa coba? Ngerti sih gua.
Ooh, Marine trying to farm these
Nantang lawannya
triangle
WR
creeps.
gitu.
Thompson with the Stampede, the drinking buddies coming
Ini nggak ada skill
through.
3
Sharp
ya, Thompson
block
ya? Wah,
right
ngentot
on the
nih.
money. That is very nice. Marine will end up going down to this. Snowball's available, and they're going to look for crit here.
Nice, itu dia.
Absolutely stunning him up. The lasso
Itu
even
dia,
committed to secure
itu
that
dia
one.
bro. Wah,
Get
ngentot
themselves 2 nice kills
Ramses.
bottom lane. Ramses. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Ramses the Great.
Thompson comes
Guys,
through.
kalian tahu Ramses the Great gak?
Flame
Ramses
break,
the Great
not
tuh
gonna be able to
katanya
help
yang
secure
ini,
the-
guys.
Or not able to chase Snake King too far here.
Sabar, oke. Ramses the Great tuh yang katanya yang
Remember
jadi
everyone
viral
that
waktu
today
zamannya Nabi
you
Musa
have the
nih.
opportunity still
Ramses
to
the
join
Great.
one
Coba kalian
head
search
bet
di
with the
Google.
promo code
Ramses the
UNVRS3
Great.
and grab yourself a 100%
The
deposit
Great
bonus.
Ramses.
There's a pinned message in chat with all the information
Mungkin
there.
Ramses 6666 dari sana.
Snake
Karena
King,
Ramses the Great
jungle,
itu
they see each other.
dia katanya juga suka angka
Doesn't quite
666.
know about 9 class though.
Mungkin inspirasinya nicknya Ramses dari sana
And
guys.
they will
Mati
sandwich him,
dong,
waits
Crit.
for the disruption, and
Crit
here
cukup
comes 9
banget,
class, gonna
Jing,
run him
Jing.
down with the edict. Able to close the gap pretty
itu dia.
dang easily. Snake King needs to be
Ata dong
careful,
nih,
but
dua
Amar
orang.
comes in. A lot of damage from the
Ata dong
Slardar.
nih, dua orang.
Marine as well. Thompson gonna try and offer some assistance, but the minus
Top
armor
gua kira kena
from
cycle,
this
Jing.
Slardar is just too much. They get themselves a
Kalau
couple
saya si
kills.
sial abis itu.
Great punish
Gue
there
bisa
from
bilang itu sial
Falcons.
abis.
Quick response. It does mean Lina is being left alone again. We saw what happened last time when they gave space to Pure. But with the game going better and finding return kills like this, the blinks are coming online a lot faster than last game. Amar needs about 200 gold. I believe Dragon Knights is being delivered right now. So you now have tools to try to smoke and find the Lina, whereas last game it was just way too hard to ever get on top of her. Thompson, no issues though. He doesn't even have a blink, but he's just been running at people and flame breaking them.
Awas.
Does end up tanking there. He's gonna get the. Oh, that was a good play there from the supports. They just denied that arcane rune over to the Batrider.
Ramses. Ramses. Yang mati lagi dong
Thompson's
Ramses.
blink on the way too.
Anjing.
So we'll see who can get more done with their
Wah,
blinks first.
kontol. Bisa ada begituan dia
First
jalan
one's
di
put to good
tengah-tengah.
use as they take
Jing,
down 9 class. Now looking for Ramses. Does have a blade mail and stampede. He's gonna pop the blade mail for now. Turn around with a nice stomp. Snaking needs to be careful. The Laguna comes out from Pure. They've got him.
Mati, Jing.
And Snaking taking a lot of damage there, but Amar gets on top of Pure, finishes the job, and Ramses will go
Mati
down as
lagi,
well.
guys.
A 3-for-2 bloodbath in this bottom lane, and now You gotta consider Roshan as an objective here
Nggak
fairly
mungkin
soon
Roshan,
with
kan?
this Slardar.
Gimana caranya mereka Roshan, Jing?
It's a little harder without focus fire, but I think you're right. I think as long as you have Slardar, it's doable. But maybe you need a little bit more convincing win in a team fight
ngapain?
before you feel comfortable doing it. It's
Gue
a
bingung
very
nih mau
close
Vini
game.
mau ngapain nih anjing.
It could easily backfire in the time
Nah,
it takes
akhirnya
you
mau
to do the
dilawan
roach this
ngentot.
early.
And 13 to 14 at just the as we approach the 14-minute mark. Very high kill game already. As Gleipnir will be done soon on the Wind Ranger, as well as the level 2 ult, which is a pretty substantial increase for this hero. The cooldown scales so well with this, and like the lower cooldown, it means you can farm so much easier, right? You can just throw it on the ancient camps, you can throw it in the triangle, just to amplify your farm speed.
Dire are scared.
Yeah, it'll take time before it reaches that full threat in a team fight where you have like 2 seconds to react or your whole team's dead.
They're looking for Skitter.
Nice.
There it is, the Blink Lasso out from Thompson. The Walrus Punch is there, and Skitter safe for the moment, but Stampede comes in. No way he actually gets out of this, does he?
No fucking
Whirlwind's
way, bro.
out. They're just going to be able to stomp them up here with Amar. They didn't have the damage, and they get themselves 2 kills in return.
That's one
Great
of the
TP
strengths
response.
of Gleipnir, why it's so popular. It is so much health, 350 health once he
Tinggal
finishes
mati
that
lagi.
Gleipnir. He also has that Seed to Serenity for extra health. So this Universal Wind Ranger, very tanky.
Iya, posisi
Björk
snaking goblok
finishes off
anjing.
snaking very easily, but now Amar able to turn it around,
Ada scatter
finish him
lagi,
up with the help
scatter
of
anjing,
Skitter,
anjing.
and
Scatter
Ramsey's
babi.
in some trouble as well. There is a breathe fire, but it's slightly off the mark
Apa ini?
for the power shot. Not going to connect. They do see 9 class, and you still have the Slardar available, so you
Scatter
can
anjing, tadi kalau nggak ada
continue to
scatter mati
poke and
dua-duanya
prod
tuh
in these
sumpah
fights.
mati.
Oh, mid lane.
Thompson in the river.
Oh, he's dead.
Kemarin, dia kayak kemarin.
Nice stun from Amar.
Dia kayak
into the
kemarin
tackle shot. See,
jing,
this
baru
is
hidup
the danger of all
nih.
chatting Falcons in the last game. They're hitting their stride now. They're feeling the all chat. It's a power up for Falcons.
I mean, it's such a night and day performance for the Slardar, right?
Yeah,
Like last
komentarnya
game it
Thompson
was
anjing.
a little bit awkward for him trying to get into
Noxon
these fights, but
bad
now
again anjing.
Amar is super farmed,
Oh
and
my
he is
God,
just
that's actually so bad.
any
Yeah.
hero he sees, he's able to just like
Menurut
set
gua
up a
nggak-
kill on
dia
Ramsey's
pick hero-nya
bottom
dia aja
lane,
anjing.
gets the stomp
Thompson
off.
tuh
Gonna try
nggak
and
usah
make it
kebanyakan
through the
bawel
gate.
lah.
That
Anjing,
is
kasih aja
not
hero yang dia
happening.
mau. Dazzle
Dragon
kayak
Tail comes
ngentot.
out from Maureen at the perfect
Wah,
time, and
kacau,
Ramses
Jing.
will be forced to
Pakai
pop
lagi.
the Stampede.
Kacau jing itu jing.
Ramsey just going for a Crimson Guard next.
Tapi gue masih
That is
optimis,
going to
guys,
be
menang
really
kanan.
good. There's a lot of right click
Ayo dong,
damage
jangan
coming out
kecewain
of
gue dong,
Falcons.
masa kalah terus sih lawan Falcon sih.
Maybe once you finish that,
Kayak,
go for a
kayak
fight.
ayo lah men, maksud gue come on bro.
It always helps really well against the Whirlwinds, but eventually Whirlwind outscales it, and I think that's the scary thing, right? Because your Gleipnir is just procking onto everybody in those fights, and you just have the Gleipnir active as well to hold these heroes down in place.
You also have Demonic Purge on Shadow Demon to remove it from at least one hero. Probably the Lina, I'd say. Maybe the Bat Rider, like whoever you care about killing first, depending on the situation.
Nice
Dia nggak ada-
snowball.
dia nggak ada-
Demonic
dia
Purge
nggak ada
does
WR, dia
come
nggak ada-
out. Do they have the damage finish off Skitter?
nggak
Great
ada
disruption,
WR.
but 9 still has a stop, but a blink stun out from Maureen. Pure is here on the side.
Mati,
They
mati,
really
mati.
want to
Mati
finish
dong,
this
Skitter.
Wind Ranger.
Nice.
And they will do it.
Sampai di
Lasso
lasso, Jing.
actually committed just in case. Amar comes in, sets
Pure,
up a nice
Pure,
stun
Pure,
onto
liatin,
2,
Pure,
but they
Pure
don't have
yang
the
mati.
follow-up. Pure,
Pure yang mati.
he's a little bit low. They get him. Snowball on through from Whitemon. Crit just burning down on the high ground. A 3 for 2 at the moment. Ramsey's trying to close the gap. He dodges
Did
the
they say
stun,
Crit?
but he gets him. Oh my goodness. Crit gonna get out, pops him with the poison at the end, and Amar with the chase looking for Whitemon. He's gonna have him. Snowball for the moment, but you can't get away from this Slardar. He is too dang fast, and it's all 5 dead on Tundra. That lasso ends up being really costly.
Is under attack.
It's such a scrappy fight. Look how much damage is done in this fight. It's 18 minutes in.
Tadi di lasso sih anjing
All
gitu.
5
Darah-
heroes for each
nggak
team
tahu
are
mati
in
lagi
this
gua.
fight.
They're not done.
They might find Thompson too.
I mean, you can't get away from Amar right now like this.
Especially with that demonic purge on top, there's no way. This is BKB already done for Amar. He's having such a better game, and after that
Kick
fight,
aja
he
nggak
has
sih
tons
Thompson,
of the
anjing?
top net worth.
Dia tuh selalu gitu Jing mainnya. Kayak
This-
nggak ada
so-
beban
it's so
gitu.
cool to see the difference between game 2 and game 3.
Aduh,
where
kayak
Slaughter
lu
just did
ngeliat
not
gitu, dia
perform,
masih
so
di
why'd you
mid.
pick Slaughter versus Lina? But now we see it. Now that he's having a
Temennya
better
baru
game,
aja
he's
mati.
able to get to the Lina.
Ngetot,
Lina just
ngetot.
has to run. Otherwise, the negative armor is destroying her. The bashes are controlling her up. She only has.
Kayak mainnya
12
nggak ada
armor.
beban Jing. Ayo
So
farming aja di
Rosa
sini
Days
ngihi,
is
farming aja nih.
removing everything, putting her
Di sini
into
nih,
negative,
anjing.
and we see her getting chunked down in these fights.
That very awkward
Udah
double
mulai pusing
sentry
kayaknya.
drop there.
Tundra
that
pasang
hurts.
sentry-nya aja.
I think the other thing
Dua
too
biji
is
di
like
tempat yang
there's
sama,
no
Jing.
Sven here, right? The Solar Crest and the War Cry was giving people so much mobility and armor to kite this Slardar around, and it's just not happening in this fight. Like, you cannot get away from this guy. So they're gonna look for the Roshan, and we knew this was coming eventually with the Slardar. Like, we kind of thought last game they might be the ones that could stall it out, get themselves Rosh, but ended up losing a fight. Tundra took it. Not this time.
Yeah, it's last game with that Sven, and he took the shard. It's an extra 18 armor plus a physical barrier plus movement speed to run away. It's very different in these early fights because he'd have that max
Soalnya
at
nggak
this
ada
point.
item
He would have level 8
ngentot mulai
War
dah.
Cry. So
Tuh
losing
hero kenapa di-pick
18
lagi sih buat
armor
dia?
is a
Ngentot,
very big
ngentot
difference
lah.
when fighting a Slardar.
Pakai hero yang bener aja Jing. Waduh, nih lagi.
Ooh, again, the ward, this time scouting. Whitemon. And I do like that Amar's just going for the AC next. I don't know if he has a
Kok gue pusing ya palanya,
shard
ngentot.
yet. I don't think so. But he might be picking that one up somewhat soon.
Kenapa gue beneran mikirin Jing? Thompson
Real quick,
babi,
everybody,
tahu gue jadi
make
pusing
sure
anjing.
that you are following or subscribed to Fissure Studios here
Kalau
on
gue
YouTube
menang juga mereka
and
nggak dapat duit,
Twitch,
gue
as we
babi.
appreciate them putting this tournament together. Ramsey's not going to be super stoked on that one. Tries to TP out, there just happens to be crit.
Pengen hamstring
Wrapping
gitu, Bing.
around with a deep ward placement, and they get a free kill there. That's into the Tormentor steal. This is actually a sick move.
Tormentor Steel and
pistol, man.
Dragonite's already TP'd bottom for Batrider. If he can find it, his team can now connect. Okay, quick escape from Batrider though. Otherwise, that would have been really cool because you're going to see the Tormentor break and you're going to think, oh, I need to get away now. But Dragonite's already going to be on top of you, and that's when the team's going to be TPing in. So nice try from Falcons. Didn't quite get it. Good read from Thompson. But they do get the
Lina
shard.
pistol.
And who did that go to? Crit. That's a nice one to
Oh.
have. With that, you're much safer from the Batrider. You can remove a lot of the building napalm stacks. And, oops. A sacrifice must be made. He's gonna get the shard for himself though, an extra pounce. Maybe not the best as a
Anjing kenapa
support,
gitu lucu ya, ngentot.
but at least
Nggak
you
ngerti
still
gua
stole
juga, anjing.
Tundra shard, so
Soalnya itu biasa-biasa aja
in a
nih.
sense it's a second shard your team wasn't really supposed to have, so it's not a huge deal if it's not the best. At least you're not having to
Paling
do a
game dah ini.
split earth or
Thompsonnya juga harus punya item ini masalahnya.
like the
Udah beda 9k
upgrade
aja
ice shards.
ngehe. Saya Thompsonnya di sini nggak main Jing. Kontol dia bisa pick bit rider lagi anjing.
Lina BKB, mech on Tusk.
Pengen ngantuk gue nontonin
Picking
Thompson
up some
anjing.
tools to fight. I think you gotta wait for the Batrider BKB. Then maybe you can
I think
look
it's
for
so bad.
something. But it is into Aegis, and what was a very even game for so long has very quickly become a 9k gold difference off of Aegis and then the double Tormentor play. We see it be so impactful in many games.
Dude, double Tormentor is always, a huge deal. Like, it's always the team that is, like, really far ahead that can pull it off, and it just makes it feel so much worse.
Hub players, embrace that. Double Tormentor, great play. Early Roshan, great play.
Jungle creeps. Fun.
Not as good.
I like hitting creeps. That's why I play Dota.
Is under attack.
Scan from Tundra. Finds this smoke play. should be careful. They're positioning quite well around this tier 2 and this high ground.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I mean, they know something's up, right?
Is under attack.
They're going to wrap around, look for someone on the top side. Again, a nice movement there from Shadow Demon.
Dire's top tower is under
Skitter will finish off the tier 2, it looks like.
Thompson's got his BKB. He does have that Witchblade you were talking about queued up.
Does he? Okay, good. I legitimately think it is a very good item for him this game. It's just not something you can go very early.
Aegis
Blink
dia, Aegis,
Lasso,
Aegis.
they've managed to catch the Wind Ranger. 30
Aegis.
seconds left on the Aegis.
Ada BKB
It's
nggak sih,
gonna get
WR?
popped. So the question
Nggak
is,
bisa dikill.
can you take the
Apalagi.
fight or do you back without your lasso?
Oke lah.
That's probably as
Free
much as you
Aegis.
can get
Oke
done.
lah, free kill. That's okay
Didn't
though.
use too many spells for that.
Ramses masih
Maybe you
belum ada
can fight
dagger
if
ya.
needed, if need be, but
Lasso udah
no
kepake.
lasso
Dari
does
tim
hurt your
kanan, dari
initiation
Tundra.
quite a lot because Ramses is still a
Di
few
sini
hundred
musuhnya
gold
mau
off of
ngapain
his
nih?
blink.
Ramjesnya anjing.
There's no real way to start fights.
Just walk at them menacingly.
Ini Ramses kalau dagger ya.
Maureen just working down this
Dia
tower
harus
slowly
KSD
but
sih.
steadily.
They're actually just watching him do it.
Yeah.
They know they
Shadow
can.
Demon
Like if
maksudnya.
you try to run in, you're running into a Shadow Demon.
As like if they can bring this wave away from the tower so that it doesn't break backdoor protection, it's fine. Cool, and they
Okay.
stall it out. That's actually really good for Tundra.
Ini good play.
That slows up the game a little bit, but they
Like high
smoke
skill player.
immediately after, and now we're gonna see Falcons try and find a pick off here. Dude, if they get pure on this Lina, oh boy.
Best kill they could find. He has a BKB. He might be able to get out in time, but there is a Slardar here with a Bash Prime, so
Yeah, that's
very
they have a deep ward
unlikely.
too.
Ward
They're
lagi
gonna go all the way around.
ngentot lah.
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh,
make it
nah,
plenty
anjing,
of time.
anjing.
They're so fast. The drums pop as well. There's the pop of the solar flare, and there was Alina there a moment ago, just instantly killed.
Didn't even have a moment to BKB.
Yeah, Amar is a huge problem for them now. I mean, he's been a huge problem, but he is level 17, the Blink, the Echo, the BKB. He's just very difficult to kill in the first place, but he is a massive threat onto these heroes as well.
Radiant's turret
It's going to be the tier 2 tower for Falcons. Doesn't look like Tundra has any interest in contesting it. I think they actually had just smoked as that Lina was getting killed. I think they were hoping to connect on that Lina and try to make a play, so in the end they just used their smoke to go push out other lanes, which does not feel good. That's all the tier 2s. Almost cleaned up the mid tower, less than half, so they can pick that up pretty easily.
Ooh.
Fast
Thompson.
blink from Crit.
Yeah, they're going to Stampede as well. The Laguna committed to take down the Miranda. They're trying to find a better lasso target, so Thompson holds off at the moment. But let's see if they can find one now.
Kelaso aja nih WR.
Skitter would be the
Kebalik nih
absolute
gamenya.
best case find. They do
Kelaso
have
aja,
high ground
Kelaso
wards
please.
to give him some time to go up on in, and he's going to get vision for the moment. He gets the lasso, the blink, the stomp out from Amar, but the crush comes through as well. They're trying to finish off this this Slardar, but here comes the whirlwind from Skitter, and the damage is just so overwhelming. The blade mail, you will respect it for the moment, but in comes Maureen. The shackle is out, and they will have plenty of damage to finish off that centaur.
That White Mon. I don't think they know Lina's
Careful.
here. Maybe he didn't see White Mon? It is nighttime. Thought he was close enough.
He did see him for a glimmer of a second. Snaking's gonna find him now, it looks like. Ooh. Arrow's gotta connect. Yeah, there's no way to dodge that one.
Crit's found Pure in the back, though.
He's gonna have to BKB this, but Slardar's gonna be able
close.
to just run him down, I think. Yeah, look at the damage, dude. This is why we were talking about the Slardar into the Lina and how different the draft, or how like just a few
anjing.
heroes changes in the draft and it's a completely different performance.
This tower's falling so quickly.
Yeah.
Ngentot.
Solar flare.
Thompsonnya
right,
dikasih
utterly
Batizer
gone.
lagi bro.
But still,
They're just farmed at this point.
yeah, they just
Kayak
have
lu
a
2
lot
kali
of
tolol
damage.
gitu.
Mid tower's being hit by creep, so you can head over there too. Lina's still dead for 40 seconds. She has buyback. You really
Udah
don't
gitu,
wanna have to
tadi
use it at
pure-nya
this
mau
point.
nolongin
You
lagi.
need as much gold as possible on your carry. Because you see they have damage issues. They jump the
benci
Wind
banget tuh.
Ranger,
Kok ada orang support,
Slardar
anjing.
pops BKB and
Move.
goes to counter initiate. And
Kayak
with
lucu
BKB
gitu.
and a puddle, he was taking almost no damage versus 4 heroes.
Yeah.
So if you have to buy back on this Lina,
Kayak move
you're
nolong
just
support
even
gitu, Jing.
poorer,
Menurut saya
you're
temen lu
lacking-
mati gitu semuanya.
I don't know.
Terus kayak lu
She
tinggal
trying to
berdua, lu
get-
dikejar
she's
5
going for Link
orang,
and
terus
she
lu
feels
masih mau
she needs it,
nolongin,
but
kayak aduh.
they're still gonna
Nggak
have
logis
damage
Jing,
issues
itu menurut
then.
gua. Main Dota emang harus logis, guys.
Is that tower burned?
Kalau nggak logis,
I thought it might burn down to
mati
the
lagi, Jing.
jungle item there.
Ngaco,
Thompson
ngaco lah.
top lane running away from Amar
Dia
here. Gonna go
gedung
for the
dia.
TP. Gleipnir's
Long
out.
range
Oh, he did not know about that one. Shackle
Berat
comes
sih.
through and a quick double tap. Yeah, I mean, this is the difference,
Mati
right?
juga
You
juga.
don't have a
Ngentot,
way to
dia
cancel
udah.
the minus armor this game. In mid lane, they find Pure once again. This game has fallen apart. Ramses comes in. He's going to try and maybe clean up the wave, but Dragon Tail is out. The Mirana there to do plenty of damage. Nice drinking buddies to save him for the moment. Disruption, though. Pulls him right back down. Arrow actually off the mark, but the Dragon Tail is not. And finally,
Ketek itu.
crit will
Of
pop
course.
him. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that's it.
I don't know what you can do in this game.
Because you're about to get the mid lane here. You have 30 more seconds, and the top wave is pushed in.
Solar
I think this is
Flare.
megas. Yeah, why not? Speed this up, right?
Maybe in scripts. Dude, okay, the all chat has been so good in this series. Oh my goodness.
Maybe
Alright.
I'm
instant
telling
guys
you,
if you're lucky.
it's dangerous to all chat Falcons. You're engaging in their game.
Ah, ngentot lah, nggak jelas tim.
It's
Hey, you've got megas at 30.
I
Is there hope for Tundra?
no, not really. I think realistically, like the only way you get back into this game is if Falcons decide to take like a team shower in the fountain or something, you know, and they all feed
I mean,
that
they
way.
might to drop mantles. Like, you know, maybe there's a chance flame break some of them, lasso them in.
They could. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Roshan's up. This will die in a matter of like seconds. Well, instead, they're just gonna smoke across. The scan from the Dire doesn't connect, but there's actually a ward here that's gonna pop. The smoke goes in. Lasso comes out. They get the nice catch there onto the Wind Ranger, but guess what? The disruption's there, and here comes Whirlwind, baby. Good luck getting away from this. Pure getting ran down from Amar. The GG comes out a little preemptive, but yeah, I think this one done and dusted. Way too much physical damage. And this is what I was talking about in the draft last game. Get yourself a dataless scaling hero to pair with this Slardar. Like, it's how it works. Like, it's just overwhelming, and it works out wonders this time for Falcons.
Thompson kontol.
Yeah, the Whirlwind especially, because if you get the shard on Slardar, you're now applying it to
Kita lihat
everyone. And
Twitternya
usually the
Tundra,
carrier's like,
eh.
I gotta pick my target.
Momennya
Whirlwind's
pasti
like,
ke Thompson
hit
semua,
them
Jing.
all, why not, right?
Thompson sih ngaco
It did a
sih.
lot. She actually doesn't always pick
Yeah,
up
gue
the
Thompson
kill
lawannya
because
ngaco
Whirlwind
banget.
has like a cooldown on how often it can hit different heroes and how fast it's firing. But I mean,
What the
you're
fuck was that?
weakening everyone for your team, and they'll clean it up. You even have the Dragonite with the cleave. You have strong supports who can grab some kills. So it is such a good synergy there, and kind of what they went for last game, but just did not come out of the lanes. The support struggles. It really felt like Falcons did not get to play that
Thompson
game.
sih ngentot.
And Tundra was just running around causing chaos, but totally different here in game number 3 off of some adjustments to the draft, right? This is why we were saying the draft is so important. I think
Nggak belajar.
removing the Sven in particular,
Yeah.
very big difference from game 2 to game 3.
I think that one might have just been an oversight in the draft from game 1, because I think they look back at it and they're just like, oh yeah, that was the issue.
That's what
Like,
got us.
This is what caught them off guard, and Tundra did
Oke lah,
really
itu
good
aja,
stuff
guys.
there. And to go back for a
Thank you
similar
semuanya.
opener, like you pick the Lina, they respond, they have faith in this Slardar pick. They're like, we have Slardar, we're gonna have the bans for